righty, welcome everybody. We're here once again to the state tournament tip-off show here in Naugatuck, as this has become a normal habit here in Naugatuck as the tip-off show every year. We want to thank our great sponsors that made the tip-off show possible tonight, and that's Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pond. Also want to thank T&D Quick Stop, Precision Heating and Cooling, and Quality Metal Roofing. This year, the show will be led by Chris Kidd and Bradley Damron. Guys, excited?
Definitely. Welcome in everyone here to Naugatuck, West Virginia. Tyson's Restaurant, Naugatuck. Who's ready to go to States?
Yeah.
I said, who's ready to go to States?
Hey, yeah.
Trying to go back-to-back for the second time in school history is the Tug Valley Panthers. Chris Kidd here with Bradley Damron, Darryl McCoy introducing us here tonight. And Bradley, this has been a Tug Valley's club that has been dominant throughout the entire season. Just 2 losses by 2 points this year, and they've really ran through a state tournament field that is filled with long-time state tournament people with so much pedigree, so much state championship exposure, so much in honor of what those teams have done, Williamstown, Logan, others, and they've been able to blitz through them, Tucker County. So this is a team that is very well versed coming into this state tournament trying to repeat.
Very well versed and also playing very well. They haven't lost since their first game this calendar year. So they lost their first game in January and haven't tasted defeat since. This is a squad that's averaging about 70 points a game. Mm-hmm. They cause a lot of turnovers. They're pretty, a lot of chaos on the floor with this group. And like you said, they're battle tested and they're ready for this run.
Well, the thing I like about this year's group, and honestly, I think this team is more battle tested and ready than any other team in the last, in the D&D sports era that's went down there from Naugatuck, because this team, they ramped up. There was no easy schedule, and there never is with Coach Thompson, but this year it seems like he ramped it up even more. Like they didn't, they might have had 2 or 3 games where you could, say, okay, we're going to pencil that one in. The rest of them, it was a 50-50 game. They had to come, they had to battle, and I think that's what's going to have them ready to make a strong state title run.
Yeah, and they're so strong on both sides of the ball. You talk about them forcing turnovers, how good the offense is, getting over 70 points per game. They've got 4 players averaging double figures this season coming in. So it's a lot like some of the teams you see out there that are vying for a state championship spot. There's not just one person you've got to shut down. There's multiple people that can hurt you in this lineup. And not just that, but the pressure they put on you, it is 32 minutes of a complete grind trying to take out this Tug Valley team.
Absolutely. And, what makes them so good, I think, on the offensive end is they share the ball extremely well.
Yes.
This is one of the most unselfish teams that I've ever seen and covered, anywhere I've been. And it's just fun to watch them out there. This is a group, they're a very confident group. The number 1 seed in AA is Williamstown. Mm-hmm. And this team beat them by double digits. So, on a neutral floor. So,
yeah.
So this is a team that seems to be poised and ready and, got Montcalm on Thursday coming up.
Yeah, and that's what I said. You see them go into big arenas. They play Williamstown on neutral floor. They beat Logan and Willie Acres Arena. They've gone everywhere, taken on every test, and now they get to go to the big floor in Charleston against a Montcalm team on Thursday, 5:30. They got the tough task of going Thursday, Friday, Saturday if they're going to repeat. And I think this is a team, though, that seems very relaxed, very focused, very ready to do that once again.
Absolutely. They definitely have the young legs, though, so those 3 days.
It's impressive, to look at their record and see they're 6-0 against teams that's qualified for the state tournament this year. So, that's something that you got to respect, because there's not many double and triple A teams that's going to have that kind of resume coming in.
Absolutely not. You see so many teams coming in, and not to denigrate their schedule by any stretch of the imagination. Sometimes it's just logistics where you can get to who will schedule you. But whenever you add up the record and then you add up the quality of opponents as well, it's close to unmatched in what you see, whether it's single A, double A, triple A, or quad A coming into this year.
I agree. Guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to some of them Tug Valley Panthers and coaching staff. Come right back and join us here on the Tug Valley Panthers State Tournament Tip-Off Show.
5 times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years. If you need heating, cooling, electrical work, a fantastic generator, residential or commercial, done right at a fair price by honest experts, remember the name, Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Visit PreciseHeatingCooling.com for an appointment. Precision, the best of the best, again.
Don't be stuck out in the harsh weather this winter. Make sure you get your car right and stop by Western Auto, located in Kermit, West Virginia. They're also a certified steel dealer, so if you're looking for outdoor or car needs, call Western Auto today.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck as we got the Tug Valley Panthers State Tournament Tip-Off Show brought to you courtesy of our good friends at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Precision Heating and Cooling, T&D Quick Stop, Quality Metal Roofing. As we got Chris Kidd, Bradley Damron, and Bryson Eli in the house with us.
Your name has been a point of pain for me over the last couple of years doing some games. I have been corrected on your name at least 5 different times. I think I finally got it after a couple of years now. You know, you got a lot of fun fans out there, though, that do have your back and do like to get things right, and you've been such a key cog of this state championship team coming back again this year, Bryson. Talk about your role on the team and how you execute what you're supposed to do, because you know just as well as anybody, it's not just one person that wins a state championship. It takes all of you.
You know, everybody has their role, like you said, but I feel like I kind of like one of the defensive leaders of the team, and every team has to have that. You know, even though we're a lot of like shorter guards, you have to get down there and battle and rebound. And even though, you know, some games I may not score, you know, any given night any of us could score. So, you know, that's not really the issue. You know, once all of us get down in the paint and, you know, use the size that we do have, you know, I think that's what benefits us the most. And I think that's one of my key roles is always being down there using my abilities like jumping and whatever else it is to stay rebounding and, you know, just stay consistent every game.
And you talked a bit about, you know, your jumping, your leaping ability, all that. You know, 2 things stand out to me. You're the guy who jumps, you know, does the jump ball at the beginning of the game, and you're under 6 feet, right? And so, but also, talk a little bit about, you're probably the best under 6 foot shot blocker I've ever seen. Just talk to us a little bit about that, how you're able to anticipate that, because it's not just leaping. I think you anticipate really well.
I mean, being undersized, I mean, that's something that you have to work on over time. And I feel like just work on the timing and, you know whenever somebody's about to jump or, you know, whenever they're about to pump fake, just, you know, stay on your feet and know when to stay on your feet and know when not to stay on your feet. And a lot of times it's a gamble, but, you know, a lot of times it can pay out. You know, even if you do get a foul, it just depending on the time and, you know, what point it is in the game. Doesn't matter as long as you just, you know, get your timing down and you can get the foul. You can make somebody shoot free throws. Maybe they're not as good as a free throw shooter as, you know, some of the other guys, you know. But stuff like that comes into key in that situation as well.
And Bryson, you talked about being one of the defensive leaders on this club. That's normally not the thing a lot of people want to be known as whenever they come in. They want to be the top scorer. They want to be the one that everyone's talking about for getting 20, 30 points a game and stuff. But it takes a lot of pride and a lot of internal fortitude to be able to step up and say, this is what I want to specialize in. This is how I'm going to help us win this game. Tell me, how did you make that adjustment as you came through high school to realize that this is how I'm going to help us win ball games?
You know, like I said, you know, we're a great team. We all love each other to death, and it's like a brotherhood around here. And whatever it takes for us to win the state championship is what we need to do. And, you know, there wasn't really a say-so. I guess you kind of just fall into place, and, you know, I'm perfectly okay with it. So it is what it is. We win state championship. So
yeah. The one thing, you know, obviously want to talk about, you know, last year you was the hero, you was the talk of the town, you know, and you know, coming in, you know, you made the the turnover that could have costed your team, but you fought right through that, come right back, got the steal, and I mean the rest was history. It seemed like going into last year's state tournament, y'all was all nervous. I mean, you was putting very low numbers up scoring, and honestly, y'all relied on Buddy a lot to get you through them earlier games. But now that y'all have done it, and stuff, do you go into this year with a lot more confidence?
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit of the weight off of our shoulders, and just gonna go in calm, cool, and collected, and just do what we do. And I just feel like it'll all come to us when we're down there.
Bryson, before you go, just talk to us a little bit about being able to wear that target, because this year you've got that big giant target right back here, every game. Just talk a little bit about how you've been able to withstand that this year.
I think that's something that we're able to do because we want another state championship. It's only been done one more time in the history of the school, and I think that's just encourage us all to keep going at it no matter what, because the job's not finished and we want more.
Yeah. Well, we see your teammates all referring to you as the shot. You obviously walk in every store, every business around here, they got a picture of it. You walk in Cheech's Pizza, I seen it. Now we got to get Coach Hodge to make sure he gets he's got to get a bigger one here, right?
Yeah.
But it's got to make you feel good to be able to walk in your community and for everybody to remember. I'd say you've not bought a dinner since.
Just it depends. Just same place, whatever whatever time is. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't.
I tell you what, there's a check up there that says "kid" on it. You go right ahead. You got this, big guy. No, you don't want that check.
All right, guys. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll come back with another Tug Valley Panther. You're watching the Tug Valley Tip-Off Show live from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck.
Thank you, guys. Good luck. Welcome back, everybody, to Tyson's Restaurant here in Naugatuck. Chris Kidd with you, with Bradley Damron, Darryl McCoy with us here. Jill Blevins, our camera operator here tonight on the D&D Sports Network. We're now being joined by Carson Newsom of the Tug Valley Panthers. And Carson, you come in here, obviously, see that you got a little bit of an injury going in here tonight. Bradley was talking about it before we came on the air. The hand that everybody's talking about in the area. Tell us, what is your health like coming into the state tournament?
Well, I heard it at first, but after a couple of days, it's starting to heal a little bit better. And I had it glued and took a little bit of stitches out, but I still got 4 in. I'm going to play with them in. But I still got a few days to heal, so I'll be all right.
And, Carson, what you bring to this team, is not just you're a great shooter, but I think you're also one of the better on-the-ball defenders that we have in the area. Just talk a little bit about that. It seems like defense is part of this team's identity, and you're one of the better defenders.
Yeah, that's what I really try to focus on mostly. Just play solid defense, stay in front of them, don't let them get around me, don't let them drop to the middle, just do that kind of stuff to help the team.
Now, Carson, what's one of the things that you remember most about last year coming into this one? Because, if you've won it one time, sometimes there's a little bit more nerves coming in the second time because of the weight of expectation, the fact that you guys have had an extremely strong year and finished number one again. Tell me, has the ride been different this time around, or what is it that you're looking forward to most going back again this time?
It ain't really been different. I mean, it's still crazy going into Charleston. I mean, the atmosphere is just it's crazy. When you walk in, there's just so many people surrounding you. I mean, it's insane.
And Carson, when we think about the school and the tradition and all that, last year you were coming in off the bench. This year you're one of the main cogs on the starting offense. How does it feel to be now one of the main attractions on a team that with so much tradition?
It's a little bit different. You got to step up a lot more. But I feel like I'm ready for that.
Yeah, the Carson coming in, obviously, Bradley hit on it there. Coming off last year, could have made a very strong case. You were sixth man of the year, and then now you're coming in playing such a vital role. Coming in this year, not having Big Buddy Markham down low, replacing him in the lineup with you, what do you feel you got to do and make sure you get done for y'all to leave Charleston with the hardware?
Just play better defense, just speed the game up.
Yeah. That's and I think that's going to be completely different. Last year, y'all averaged in the 30s.
When we had Buddy, it was pretty slow, but I feel like I sped the game up without him in there.
Yeah, and now you're averaging 70 points a game coming in. Y'all got to be one of the fastest teams down there. Yeah. So, looking forward to it now. Coming in this year here, is the second time any sweeter for you?
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
We appreciate Carson Newsom joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We're going to step aside for a quick break, come back. We've got more of the Tug Valley Panthers coming your way here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. Thank you, Carson. Appreciate it, brother.
Good job, Carson. Good luck.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. Chris Kidd with you, Bradley Damron, Darryl McCoy here this evening. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors here this evening. Ultimate Pawn of Kermit, T&D Quick Shop,
Quick Stop,
Tug Valley Wellness Center, the Quality Metal Roofing. Yeah, me and Darryl got way different handwriting for everyone. And Precision
Heating and Cooling.
See, we're just parroting each other. That's all we're doing getting this in here.
There you go. But the star of the show, you got Mr. Ashton
Davis.
Listen, I've spent 3 years, Chris, on this show, and this year is the only time, and I don't get to sit there. Every year I butcher his last name. And I just wanted to make sure you got it right.
I was going to say, if I got to get up, I'll get up.
No.
I mean, I had me a cheese stick during the break. I'll just go over and feed on it. By the way, great food here at Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck. Well,
You'll enjoy this one.
all right. So, Ashton Davis, what have you got in store for us tonight? You've been a pretty important player for this club the last couple of years. You're looking to go in and repeat this year. You're one of the main cogs on this team, one of the main captains on this team. Tell me, what's it been like going back to the state tournament once again? And this year, a lot of people looking at you guys as the favorites.
It's the greatest feeling ever. Not many people know what it's like to put on that Tug Valley jersey and come out and play for the fan base we have and the community we have. It's a feeling you can't describe.
And Ashton, I want to talk a little bit about your role, how it changed a bit this year. We've spoken a little bit about in the past, but you had to move down on the blocks a lot this year, and you're having to defend on the inside. It's been a very different role for you, but you've taken up to it pretty well. You've been up to the task. Just tell me about how that change has been.
I've played just about every position my 4 years here, but I'm here to do what Coach needs me to do, whatever gets the win for us, and hopefully we can come back and win another one.
Now, you guys go into practice every day. Garland Thompson seems like a very calm, very even-keeled demeanor, never raises his voice, never gets upset. I would imagine you could say that that's about as honest an assessment as you could have of Coach Thompson. I'm sure he's never gotten upset at anything that you guys have had to do in a practice or a game. Is that correct?
I don't know. You don't want to get him on a warpath.
Ashton, this is your senior season here, and you're a multi-sport athlete. What's it meant for you to play here in Naugatuck, and knowing that you have a chance to help the school win their second back-to-back state title? What does that mean to you?
It means the world. Ever since I was a little boy, that was my dream, to come to Tug Valley and play and be a star. And that's what I fulfilled my spot to do. And I've been beyond blessed to play 4 years here and win a state championship and hopefully go back to back.
Yeah, the Ashton, obviously, I was telling Chris, I've known Ashton probably better than most of these kids here, but I always butchered his name because there's so many Ashtons in this area. But coming in, he's made sure that I remembered his name this year, because he's come in and had a big year as a senior. You having to step in and play that senior role. Obviously, your family's very integrated into the Tug Valley system. Your parents help with the team. Your brother is a former Panther. Just kind of talk about coming in as a senior, playing that role as the vet on this team. Do you feel like after the run last year, you was prepared for this?
Yeah, for sure. I picked up some of the slack last year, and me and Buddy was the main captain guys, and I feel like there's always got to be a role. There's always got to be a guy to do that. Make the teammates fill up when they get down, and just take the spot, making everybody feel welcome and stuff.
Coach Hodge always says, no place like Naugatuck. And, when you take and look, Tug Valley, it's special because you guys, you've been together since, you was in second, third grade, coming through. Do you feel like it's more special here than it is most places because, you guys dreamed as a kid, when you seen Austin Brewer, hear stories of Greg Davis, and then you getting to do it with your buddies, does it make it more special?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, you can't really explain putting on that Tug Valley jersey and representing this community, this team, and being with your brothers going to battle each and every day. It's a feeling you can't even describe.
Well,
Now, I tell you what, no matter where you grow up at, no matter what city you're from, no matter what town you're from, I said there's always great stories about lineage, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, tennis, any sport that may be out there. And, Tug Valley, even though I'm not from the area, I was from Logan and Chapmanville area, this has still been one of the most storied places for basketball that I've come through, whether it's been an announcing or whether it's just been playing sports, watching sports. And even though I don't have firsthand knowledge of what it's like to be able to put on that jersey and the pride that it takes, you can feel it coming off of you and off of everyone in this place here tonight. And it's wonderful to hear you talk about it so lovingly and so caringly, knowing that it's not just something that you're getting to do, it's something that you're a part of and something that you carry with you. And I think you do a great job, Ashton. Thank you for joining us tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, Ashton Davis joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show, and we'll be back with more from the Tug Valley Panthers right after this on the D&D Sports Network. We are back here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you, with Bradley Damron next to me, Darryl McCoy here with us as well tonight, executive producing with Jill Blevins, our camera operator. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors tonight: Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, the Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pond of Kermit, and T&D Quick Stop. And we are now being joined by Tug Valley Panther Ethan Farrell here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. And Ethan, you guys getting to go back to the state tournament once again this year. Talk about what it's like. We just heard Ashton mentioning it, the level of care and love and warmth that it coming from this community. What has it been like doing this for yourself personally, and also getting to do this with your teammates that you've been growing up with throughout most of your life?
It feels really good. It feels good that I have the opportunity to come back here and have everybody's support and be able to just come back and play with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Bradley mentioned to me that you've been away for a little bit, and now you're coming back to where home was. So Bradley, talk a little bit about that and his connection to the area.
Well, Ethan's from the area.
Yeah.
This is his home, but he was other places, but now he's here. And you've been a vital cog on this team this season, Ethan. Your shooting, your inside-out play, but also your defense. I heard someone say at one point that it seemed like you have about 3 or 4 steals a game. Just tell me a bit about that anticipation. You seem to pick off a lot of passes.
Well, really, it's just where I'm on the main back of the press. It's easy to just see everything, see where passes are going. What was the other question you asked me?
Well, I was just asking about that. You kind of mentioned it. It's almost like you see it like a free safety back there a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, it's just I'm at the main back of the press, and I just get to watch everything, see what's happening, and just anticipate passes.
And Ethan, what do you think was the big win for you guys this year? I mean, you only had 2 losses, about 2 points, but was there a specific win that kind of stood out to you and the rest of your group that let you guys say to yourselves, hey, you know what? We got a chance to really not just win it this year, but really make a statement and put ourselves in the history books if we continue on like this? Because I think every team has that one win during the year where you're like, wow, that really stood out.
Well, the win that really stands out for me is the win against Williamstown, because that's the first win we got coming off the loss from Tucker County, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after that game, we really just picked it up. We beat Williamstown, we beat Logan twice, and we beat Tucker County. So I think really the Williamstown wins the state win that we got this year.
Absolutely.
And Ethan, just talk a little bit about how the team grew this year, because you had some guys coming in a little late with football and all that, and it seemed like it was a little slow the first few weeks. But just tell me about that process, and then once you all were going full speed.
Well, we really didn't get going full speed until after the loss to Tucker County. I think we didn't get the football guys back until a week before we played our first game. So I think that hurt us a little bit, but it was really just getting everybody on the same page and getting everybody run the same things and everything.
Yeah, Ethan, obviously it makes me smile to see you here, and I know it's something you always wanted, is to play for a state title with these boys, and I've got to spend quite a few years with you the past few years, and I know you've had a rough road, the way things went. So it took a round trip. I mean, you went a lot of miles to come back home, and but it's gotta make you feel even more satisfied, right? I mean, can you kind of express how different it is here compared to most places?
Well, basketball in Kentucky is more of like a just fast tempo, pace game, everything. But over here, it's just disciplined. You have to be very disciplined, be able to listen, and do a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Bind your role, everything. You can't just go out there and just run up and down the floor, shoot threes.
Yeah.
You have to actually come down and play disciplined basketball.
And I know the guys that don't get the credit at Tug Valley, but they play a huge part in the culture. And you're talking about Willard, you're talking about Jordan that does the PA, people like that. Do they make it even sweeter knowing that every night you got them same faces that is going to be there doing their job for you guys, to give you guys everything that you get here at Tug Valley and the opportunity you get, when you see people like that, and that's our camera guy, that's our announcer, does it feel good knowing that you got the same characters in the same positions,
It does. I think seeing everybody come out and support every night in the same faces, I think that gives us energy coming out early. I think everybody cheering, seeing people that's always there, I think that gives us energy to start out the game.
I know you got a legend like Rabbit Thompson, but you also played for a legend in AAU. I mean, would you like to give him some props?
Pretty good coach.
There you go. But no, I'm extremely happy for you, Ethan, man. It couldn't happen to a better kid, man. I know you grew up with, Braden, Ashton. I know, they meant a lot to you, and for you to be able to end your route like this, I hope you're able to bring the hardware back.
I hope so too.
All right, thank you, Ethan. We appreciate you joining us here tonight on the Tug Valley Tip-Off Show. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by more Tug Valley Panthers as well as coaches as well when we get back here on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Darryl McCoy and Bradley Damron. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself who we're interviewing here in a little bit. But Chris Kidd with you as we are here the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors tonight: Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, the Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pond of Kermit, and T&D Quick Stop, as we're now being joined by Caden Hell here this evening. 15.5 points per game on the season for Caden, really one of their big stalwarts on the offensive side of the ball. And we've talked about a lot of people on the defensive side, which you're a huge part of as well, Caden. But talk about how you help get this team going offensively, since you're second in charge of the offense, as you really do get things going from the outside a lot for Tug Valley.
Braden Ferris is a great point guard. We all move the ball around good, and I hit open shots, and that's how our offense rolls.
Caden, I want to talk a little bit about your defense, because, your shooting, you do get a lot of the press for that, because you definitely hit some big shots, but I also think you're one of the better defenders on the club as well. Just talk a little bit about how you emphasize that aspect of your game.
I try to put, as much pressure as I can so we can force turnovers, and that helps our offense get going, and that gets the crowd going a lot too. So that gives us a lot of motivation and keep going.
What was your all's toughest test this year, you think, maybe on the defensive side of the ball, or was there a specific matchup that you had that gave you a lot of trouble? Because you guys went up against some of the best in the state. Was there anyone in particular, any team in particular, you felt gave you guys the biggest struggle?
I'd say one of them would be Charleston Catholic, because they're so fundamental, well coached. So I'd say Charleston Catholic, but there've been many teams out there with great defense, though.
Absolutely.
Caden, last year in the state championship game, I feel like the team was struggling until you caught fire there in the second quarter, and it kind of turned the game around. Are you kind of looking forward now to going back to the scene of that crime, so to speak?
Yeah. First two games last year, I really wasn't shooting well, so hopefully I catch hot the first two games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and now going back once again, chance to repeat. Has that been something you guys have talked about any this year, or has it just been something that's been kind of quiet? This is its own journey. We're not worried about repeating. We're worried about 2025, because sometimes putting it in one small space like that can make things a lot easier, as opposed to trying to put on extra weight to it. So that's been something you guys have done this year?
Well, we've just been taking it game by game. That's the goal, to go back to back, but we've just been going game from game and working on it from there.
Caden, what makes this team, this community, so special to play for you?
I'd say definitely the support from the fans and how they treat us. That's a big role.
Yeah, I know, before you come on, you told me you wanted to give somebody a special shout out. Your girlfriend, what's her name?
Haven Deskins.
There you go. Obviously she just come a big trip from Charleston. Bradley got to cover her down there, but it's got to make you happy that you get to follow that up with a state tournament trip of your own, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but I've had as much fun calling your games as I have anybody. You're one of my favorite catchphrases, and for you to come out, this year here, I always tell people, with you, everybody, they relate you to a 3-point shooter, but you do so much more than that, and people don't realize, because you're so good at shooting, they don't realize how good your other parts of your game is. Is that something that do you try to catch teams off guard? Because I know when they scout you, it's got to be 3-point. Your 3-point shooting's what they go to stop first. But have you found it easier to score driving to the basket and stuff because of your 3-point shooting?
Yeah, I'd say so. Most, guard up tight where I am a shooter.
Yeah.
But, when a third player in, real tight, you can, backdoor and get wide open. So, yeah, I'd say it's an easier way to score.
Now, what does it mean doing this along with your brother?
It means a lot. A lot of people don't get to do that, so it means a lot.
Yeah, not many at all ever get to do that, and that's got to be something y'all probably grew up in backyard, always dreaming of, this moment, and then here y'all go. Last year I know he was on the team, but this year he gets to play, a part, and it's, But when you go in this year here, after the success y'all had last year, do you feel like? How do you keep the team motivated, knowing that you already won one? How do you keep the head dry as a senior?
I think back in 2012, they done it, so we're trying to, push back for that and, get the excitement and for Tug Valley and represent Tug Valley back-to-back would be great again to do.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, one of my favorites, and I'm sure going to miss you. I hope you bring home the hardware. Your final trip down, and able to bring back another state title for Tug Valley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caden Hale, joining us here tonight on the Tug Valley Tip-Off Show as we prepare for Tug Valley tipping off on Thursday evening at 5:30. We'll step aside for a break and be back right after this on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. Chris Kidd being joined by Bradley Damron, Darryl McCoy, here from Tyson's Restaurant here in Naugatuck. And we'd also like to thank some of our sponsors for helping us bring you everything tonight. Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pawn of Kermit, and T&D Quick Shop, as we're now being joined by the leading scorer of the Tug Valley Panthers here in this 2024-25 season, Braden Ferris, 20.4 points per game for the Tug Valley Panthers. And Braden, you've been very unselfish with the ball. You've also been able to produce whenever need be for Tug Valley this year. Saw that, a great example of that at Logan this year, whenever you guys were able to come back and win that game. Talk about just being one of the big floor generals on this team and being able to lead a group that's so experienced, because sometimes people can be resentful of that. Sometimes people take on that role and are very accepted by it. And you seem like someone who has the attention of everyone on the floor, and even they get your attention whenever need be, but you seem to be a really good floor general for this club.
Well, it helps a lot when we have a lot of scores.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody on our team can score and shoot the three ball, and when the help slides over, somebody's always in the corner, and I can hit them, and they can knock it down.
Absolutely.
Braden, I want to talk a little bit about your decision making this year. I've seen you made good decisions last year, but I've seen even a growth, a huge growth from that. You seem to anticipate the defense better. You seem to find your lane to the basket a little better. Just talk to me a little bit about how the game keeps coming to you the more you grow and evolve.
Well, I feel like with another ball handler like Carson, he does really good. The ball comes to me more, like the game comes to me more, and it helps out a lot with my decision making, and it calms me down a lot having him on the floor with me.
Yeah, and you guys have found yourself in some tough spots this year and in some really tight games, obviously, with the schedule you've been playing. And knowing that you've got that target on your back by being the state champions last year, tell me, is it like a thing you guys come together if you're on the road where it's like, we're not going to let them get us, and then whenever you're at home, obviously, you've got this entire wonderful community behind you guys. Just talk about how you guys have been able to stick together in some of those tight moments this year.
All of us has been best friends since we was young. We played on a travel ball team together, and when you see us like off the court, we're usually all together, and I think our bond's really special. That holds us together on the court.
That's awesome.
Braden, I want you to talk a little bit about just the culture here at Tug Valley. I've talked to some people before, and I've said this group believes no matter where they're playing, who they're playing against, they're going to go in and win. It doesn't matter. Just talk about that type of mindset. I call it a
Because they got a
champion's
home
mindset.
court advantage wherever they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, they travel so well.
They do travel well.
I feel like the culture here, you really can't beat it. Everywhere we go, we always have a really good fan base, and they're always supporting us, and we'd like to win to give back to them.
And Braden, is this your last go around?
No, I'm a junior.
Okay, then you point out the senior on this team. Tell me which one would open their mouth first here. Who would do it?
The senior?
Yeah.
Probably Ethan.
Ethan? All right. Ethan? Where are you at, Ethan? All right. Is he coming out?
There he is.
Okay. Apparently you're the one that's going to open their mouth first as a senior. All right. So. All right. I want you. All right. This is your last go around, right? Yeah. All right. I want you to look at that table right there. Yeah. You're standing right next to him. You pick out the one that you want to be honest with him. Tell him who is it you want to tell off the most right now at that table. You got free shot. I give you permission.
I don't think
He's too smart for that.
You know what he is. See, I'm the idiot. I would have totally voiced. Oh, see, one's trying to get at you now. Oh, how about you? You got something you want to say to any of them right now?
It'd probably be Tyler.
Coach Hodge?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think he's a mean guy. You been mean to him, Tyler? No.
Braden, let me ask you something. Coming in this year, obviously last year you stepped in as a sophomore, led your team to a state title. Coming in this year, you may not be the senior, but you're still the one everybody looks to. You're their leader. And when you take and come in this time, how do you keep their head straight knowing, like, okay, yeah, we went down last year. We was underdogs. We won it as underdogs when nobody thought we would and found a way to win. This year, y'all come in on a 22-game win streak. Beat 6-0 against teams in the state tournament. How do you keep their heads level and make sure that y'all are still able to get the job done and not look over people?
Well, we try to go in as like we're the 8 seed playing the 1 seed every game, so we ain't like big-headed and cocky. But it's always good to have some cockiness, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know as a player, it's got to feel good because, you live right here on the border. Yeah. And you always hear people saying, Tug Valley, they can't win over in Kentucky. Well, y'all went over there and y'all spanked everybody's rear this year. That's got to feel good too. Even though you're going to win a state title, or have a chance to win, it's got to feel good, right?
It does.
Yeah. Braden, when you think Tug Valley, coming in, all the players that had come before for you won state titles, does it feel good when you lay down at night knowing that one day your name's going to be mentioned with Austin Brewers, Greg Davises of the world?
Yeah, it does. I've always looked up to Austin because I watched him, and I've heard a lot of great things about Greg, but I watched Austin as a kid and always admired him.
Yeah, that's and when you look, you take and look at your coaching staff. I mean, it's different here. What makes Tug Valley different compared to most places?
I think our bond has a lot to do with it, and the community. The community's always there for us, even if we're winning or losing. They're always going to cheer for us, and I think all of us being together all the time and the bond really helps out a lot too.
Yeah, and the thing is, this group of seniors that you're going down Charleston with this year, you've always been, most people think that you're their age because you've always been with them boys, and so you as a young gun, as a leader, how much do you want to make sure these guys go out on top?
It'd be nice to do it for them, and it'd be nice to get Ethan his first ring.
Yeah, that's you know, as you move on, you know, Montcalm, you know, I mean, we talked about it. You know, they're only giving up 37 points a game. Y'all are scoring 70 points a game. You know, that first game is. I mean, it's got to be easy. But how has Coach Thompson kept y'all's mind to make sure y'all's not overlooking Montcalm?
Well, we just gotta go in there and really the first quarter really is just about getting your nerves out. Then after that, just playing our game.
This year, what's your favorite so far? What's your favorite memory from the regular season?
Probably beating Logan or Williamstown. That was two really good wins.
Yeah, well, when you take and talk about your memories this year, you know, on the court, you know, it's got off the court. I know you've made a lot of memories, you know, with these boys and stuff. What's the thing you're going to miss the most with this group of seniors?
Probably just hanging out all the time.
You know, obviously the flood hit y'all's area.
Yeah.
Strong. You know, I've not told many people this, but you know, Braden's father showed up at my doorstep the day after the flood with a dump truck and a shovel. Yeah. So, you know, and I definitely wanted to give him a shout out for that. But you know, it's got to make you proud knowing that you got a dad like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, well, Braden, one of your biggest fans, man, and I know everybody's going to be cheering you on, as well as the Tug Valley Panthers. But, you know, this year, you know, you got a completely different road. You know, you're going in, you're not that young sophomore anymore. You know, last year I thought that, you know, early on in the state tournament, I thought, you know, the moment was too big for you, you know, there for a moment. And then I thought you snapped out of it and you closed out the state tournament in a huge way. You know, this year I expect you to come out guns blazing. But, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, and we want to thank Braden Ferris for joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We'll step aside for another quick break, and when we come back, more from the Tug Valley Panthers here from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck on the D&D Sports Network.
Y'all know that. Y'all remember Timmy Sloan?
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. Here from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck. Chris Kidd with you, Bradley Damron, and Darryl McCoy here on this Monday evening. We're now being joined by Cameron Sloan of the Tug Valley Panthers, joining us here on the Tip-Off Show. And Cameron coming in here, getting ready for another state tournament run for this club. Talk about your feelings coming into this a little bit more now, getting more playing time, getting more of a chance to get out there and show what you can do in a lot of these situations. How does this time feel different from last time?
Definitely more excitement. I mean, last year I kind of knew I wasn't going to be getting a chance to play on the big stage. Last year I enjoyed it more than anything. I just took it in and embraced it. This year, I've definitely came at it at a different approach. I'm embracing it. I'm really excited, and I'm just looking forward to maybe get on the big stage up there in Charleston.
Cameron, let's talk a little bit about your role on the team. You know, you come in off the bench when needed, and, you know, you provided a big spark at times. Just talk a little bit about how you've been able to come in and help the team when they needed you.
Just really, I'm just trying to fill in intensity. Like, I'm just trying to fill in on defense, handling the ball, seeing the floor. I'm just trying to fill in anywhere the team needs me. I'm not worried about scoring or anything. Just as long as we're winning, I'm good. I'm just trying to fill in.
And really, those are some of the hardest things to do as a role player, isn't just figuring out where you fit in at and what it is that you do well, because you know your skills as well as anybody. These coaches know your skills as well as anybody. Has there been something that you felt yourself develop more this year that maybe has gotten you more into that role of being able to be trusted to come in big spots that maybe wasn't there last year for you?
I'd say definitely my confidence has gotten better since last year. Everybody needs confidence to be a great player, and I just feel like my confidence has definitely grew. And just getting used to the intensity, just like I've noticed this year, just like sometimes when you're playing JV, the speed of things are night and day difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a totally different pace. And I feel like I've adjusted more to the faster pace this year.
Cameron, I noticed a minute ago you mentioned your defense. And, you know, you're the son of what many people consider, myself included, the best on-the-ball defender that's ever come through Naugatuck. How much has your dad, Timmy Sloan, for those who don't know, influenced your game?
Definitely a ton. I've always, when I play ball, it's mine and my dad's connection between each other, and he's just always taught me and walked me through my whole life of basketball, and he's always given me tips, and it never is good enough for him, and I'm glad he's always pushing me to be great.
Well, your dad also known for his stylistic hair back in the day. Does he ever give you any hair tips?
My hair's a little curly, but it ain't an afro like his.
No, he was definitely a character in his own right.
Yes.
But when you sit here and look at this row coming in, you know, obviously this year you got to soak in all the experience you can, because you know next year you're going to come in and you're going to be one of the key pieces. Next year, you know, you're going to have to fill their shoes. You know, talk about what you're going to try to make sure that you take advantage of the learning moments and stuff like that with these seniors.
Just really what roles they play this year. I'm obviously we're winning. We're doing very well right now. I'm going to try to bring the same intensity as that they have when they're gone. I'm just going to try to fill that in and be successful as they were.
If you're looking at your coaching staff, you know, when things get tough, which one are you going to?
Probably Coach Thompson for sure.
Okay. Now, whenever, which one is the hardest on you?
Tyler for sure.
Okay. Now, when you look in your locker room, you know, you're taking one of them in your foxhole with you. Who you going to war with?
Ronnie.
There you go. Great coaching staff, great team, and guys, I really look forward to seeing you. The way that you've progressed over the last couple of years. You know, I did not know you was Timmy's son until probably late last year. And, you know, coming into this year, you know, I mean, I can see the apple don't fall far from the tree. And when you take and you progress at the rate that you've been progressing, I really look forward to seeing your next couple of years.
Thank you.
Well, that hurt my feelings knowing this was Timmy Sloan's son. So now we'll just move forward. But we want to thank Cameron Sloan joining us here on the Tug Valley Tip-Off Show here from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. We'll be back with more Tug Valley basketball right after this on the D&D Sports Network. Back here in Naugatuck, West Virginia at Tyson's Restaurant. Chris Kidd with you, Bradley Damron, and Darryl McCoy here this evening as we're here for the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We'd also like to thank some of our sponsors, Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pawn of Kermit, and T&D Quick Stop. As we're now joined by Fluff. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, my nickname.
Mr. Jace Hell.
Well, Jace Hell joining us here on the pregame show. Don't worry, I had a nickname in high school. We don't need to go into that though.
Oh yeah. Actually, we do.
No, it was Cobbler.
Cobbler, okay.
Cobbler was a nickname.
I'm not going to ask how you got that.
If you remember old Logan Central Junior High, then we used to have a band director that would come in there every day at lunch, and I used to be a bigger fellow than I am now. And one of my friends said that I ate 12 plates of cobbler that they were passing around at lunch. Look, it was feasible for me to do so. Still is feasible for me to do that. It did not happen. But in the 8th grade football locker room, my friend tells a story. It ends up sticking. Some girl I didn't know at school called me cobbler. Next day I went, oh no. And so here I am 30-some years later, and 30-some years later you're still going to be fluff. But we're here now talking about going back to the state tournament. And, you guys get the opportunity to do something that very few teams get the chance to do. And you guys have seemed like you've kept tremendous focus all year long, and everyone has played their role to a T as to what's needed to be done. And that, it doesn't matter if it's the top player, bottom player, middle player, starting five, not starting five. Everyone has to do something to help everybody get ready coming in. Tell me, what have you guys taken a lot of pride in helping get each other ready for each game this year?
I think after the loss at Tucker County, we really locked in defensively and offensively. We worked as a team. And we really just are a brotherhood, and we're like brothers coming in every day, and we're just trying to better each other every day at practice, going at it in scrimmages, drills, whatever we can do to get better.
And Jace, I feel like as the season's gone on, your role has expanded a bit. Especially late with when Carson had his injury. Just talk a little bit about how you've been able to grow as the years gone on, and embrace your current position on the team.
Yeah, when Carson went down, it left next man up mentality. So when my name was called out to go in the game, I just tried to fill the role as best as I could. Go in as a pass first big man, try to get a couple rebounds, play better offensively and defensively, and help the team before I can hurt it.
And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't see, Jace, is just having to keep yourself mentally prepared for that moment that you may or may not get. And obviously it wasn't anything anyone wanted to see whenever Carson got hurt, but just knowing that you kept yourself ready to meet that opportunity help keep this team running at full speed coming in. So what was your mindset like coming into that, knowing that you were going to be next man up and then actually getting that opportunity to be next man up, and how did you take advantage of that opportunity?
I just tried to take advantage of it as best as I could. I just tried to help the team, really. I'm not really a selfish guy. Just try to help in the best way I can, whether that's rebounding, passing, playing good defense, boxing out, whatever I can do to help. That's all I worry about.
And Jace, you have a nice shooting touch. It seems to run in the family. Just talk a little bit about, you have, I think, a really good inside-out game. You can score from all areas on the floor. Just talk a little bit about your offensive game.
Yeah, ever since I was little, being Caden, I always went to the gym. My dad would always get us in there, try to get up as many shots as we could. So I always was on the bigger side, so I developed an inside game while Caden was developing more of an outside game. So we just went together, and we worked at it all of our lives, basically, since we was 3 years old and now today.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, Caden, he comes in now, he's, 6th, 7th man. But, what people don't realize is this summer he was starting.
Yep.
How do you think that experience from this summer has helped you come in and play the role that you've been able to play during the season?
It gave me a sense of the pace. I know JV games have a different pace than the varsity games do. It really just helped me prepare and be ready for when my name is called to go into the game. And it just helped,
What's your favorite moment from this year?
From this year? I just like the journey along, getting all these wins on the road, whether they're at home or not. I like winning the regional championship, but nothing tops beating the state championship. We hope to repeat this year, and hopefully we can get that done next week or this week.
There you go.
That's Jace Hell joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. Jace, thank you very much, buddy. Good luck this week. We're going to step aside for another break and be back with more Tug Valley Panther basketball as you are watching here live from Tyson's Restaurant.
get girlfriends in there.
What's his name?
Leighton Brumfield.
Leighton Brumfield. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show here at Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Bradley Damron, along with Darryl McCoy with you. And a very eager Tug Valley crowd right now as we've been joined by Jeremiah Collins and Leighton Brumfield as they've been brought up to be the last representatives of the team here tonight. And tell me, guys, Jeremiah, Leighton, why did they want you all to come up? Tell me, there's got to be a reason.
I mean,
Well,
You've got to be some of the pranksters on the team if they've got you up.
sure. Yep.
If we get a shot of the team, they have pulled all their chairs around now in order to get ready for this interview. So there's obviously a key reason why so many of your teammates are excited to see you guys up here. Well, tell me, are things good with the team?
Yeah.
it's not like they're bad.
No.
No.
I was going to say nobody's mad at each other right now.
Maybe it's because I'm a little bit shy.
Okay.
So what you're saying is they're trying to torture you up here today.
That's probably what it is.
Well, just talk a little bit about, even though you all are, you are on the bench, your role on this team, because, bench players are still a vital part of a team. So, Jeremiah, you first and then Leighton afterwards. Just tell me about that role.
Well, when we're usually on the bench, we got to be on the bench when they're like feeling down or something. You got to raise them up. You got to clap when they need it the most.
And also at practice, we can also help them make them better. Work hard and be like that role spot, I think.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable because that was, part of what I had to do whenever I was in school. I never made anyone better, but, so you guys are doing a much better job than I ever did whenever I was there. But
you handled them water, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I didn't
Kept them
throw it
hydrated.
everywhere, I dropped it coming out of the locker room. But, yeah, these guys obviously had a stronger part of the team than probably I did at that point. But, you've got a lot of buddies here, obviously. You got a lot of friends. Just talk about how close-knit you guys are and how much fun it is that everybody likes to be here on nights like this, can joke with each other like this and have a good time like that. How much fun is it to be a part of this team?
It's really good. This is like my first year playing for Tug Valley. My first year coming in, and it just feels like family. It feels like family to me, and I'm glad I get to play for Tug Valley because, my whole life I grew up playing basketball, but I never played basketball on a team. But when I grew up, I always said, Tug Valley will be my home.
Same with me. I'm just a freshman and all that, and just coming in here, I've really felt welcome on the team and all that.
Now, I got a question. To help people get to know you guys, there's a big rivalry here, middle school rivalry, Kermit, Lenore. Where'd y'all go to middle school?
I went to Kermit.
I went to Kermit for a little bit, and then I went to Crum, and then I went to Martin County a little bit, and my freshman year I went to Martin County.
Okay, then found your way back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: on the bench when say Caden Hell's knocking down them big 3-point bombs, what's y'all's go-to move on the bench?
Oh, that gets you excited, you know.
Just stand up, clap, start doing random stuff.
Y'all got a dance? Y'all got a bow and arrow? Y'all got anything like that in your arsenal?
All the above.
Yeah. All right, all the above. The when you look back here on the bus, which one on these team is the ladies' man?
Lord mercy.
Pick the one that doesn't have the girlfriend guy.
Yeah, there you go. They was telling us that one of you two wanted to mention and give a shout out to your girlfriends too. Which one is it, Jeremiah?
I don't know, really.
Well, here, I'll give a shout out to mine. Brawley Fletcher's the best.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so he wasn't holding back. He knew what he had to do.
Still the assignment, right?
Yeah. He knows the assignment.
I'm not the one that's going to be having a big talking to.
Well, you know what? You learned that lesson well. I know both your mom and dad pretty well. Leighton here is my cousin for those who don't know.
Okay.
So,
much better looking, Leighton.
yeah, he is. He has much better hair, as you can see. But just, both of you just talk a little bit about, just growing up around here. You mentioned a little bit, just seeing the guys before you, Austin, Mikey, those guys. How much did they influence you?
Well, they're both my family, so they influenced me a lot and all that. And I look up to them. And also, my papa keeps the road field. He really helped me shape up my game and all that.
Okay. When going down to Charleston, you obviously a freshman. Hearing all the stories from the past, what are you looking forward to the most?
Just seeing get us a championship.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
There you go. So bringing back the hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sitting here, in this rotation, I know how it is sitting on a bench. You're sitting there and you're like, picking off your teammates. You're like, yeah, I think I could take him. That's the one. I'm gonna try to go after his row on the team. Which one of them do you think's the easiest for you to pick off? Whose row are you going after?
Well, I probably have to go after a senior's role because they're about to be leaving.
Okay.
So I say the easiest one for me would be Ashton Davis.
Oh, there you go. so Ashton better watch his back now. But guys, listen. Obviously, you mean a lot to this team because the bench and the coaching staff wanted y'all to come up and represent the other players. So the only thing I can tell you guys is, people dream to be in this situation that you guys are in. They play their whole life to get there. Soak every bit of it up. And he's next couple of years. With you, what grade you in?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay, so you'll get to come back next year too. Yeah, just make sure you soak it in and you do everything you can to play. Star in your role, no matter what it is. If it's over there on the bench getting the players hyped up, or if it's going busting their tails in practice. You become a star in your role because you got as much to do with it as any other player sitting here. And I look forward to watching you guys at the state tournament. I'm going to be watching, seeing how you guys act on that bench, seeing if y'all's getting the crowd up and, how, because, it takes people, playing that role too, and then you'll have to hand that off to somebody and you'll step in their shoes. So, but congratulations to where you're at.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank Jeremiah Collins and Leighton Brumfield joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. When we come back, we'll be joined by some of the coaching staff of the Tug Valley Panthers as you are watching live with us here on the D&D Sports Network. Guys, good job. Welcome back, everybody, to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show here from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors once again. Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pawn of Kermit, and T&D Quick Shop. Well, as you can see, these are not coaches, but we do have the rest of the Tug Valley Panthers here with us now for our final segment with the players. Aiden Fleming, Braxton Perry, Derek Jewell, Brennan Bishop, and Braxton Farley. Gentlemen, welcome. A couple of you look like you'd rather throw this microphone than talk into it at the moment. No, this is cool, though, getting to talk with everybody on the team. Can you guys talk about what your experience has been like this year, whether it be in JV ball or just getting these guys, trying to go up against them day in and day out in practice? Because obviously there's a lot of competitiveness that goes into those practices. I remember I was part of stuff like that, too, whenever they allowed me to go on the court. But you guys obviously are competing for things in the future as well. So talk about just the day-to-day grind of being like, hey, this is a competitive moment for us. We got to make them better, but we got to make ourselves better too.
I mean, it's always fun to get to play against our friends, and they're always making us better, and we're trying our best to make them better every day in practice. And the intensity is just high paced constantly.
That's good. That's good. And what do you think about it, Darryl?
Yeah, like he said, we're always just going at it, going hard. Coach always tells us to go hard, to push these guys to go hard too, and we really try to get it like game-like so that we can have them prepared for the game. So.
Okay.
Practice is very hard. We just want to push each other to get better every day and go hard every day as hard as we can to get better.
We're scrimmaging against like one of the best teams in the state, so it's just high pace, high intensity, and we're just trying to get better every day.
Like he said, we're playing against one of the best teams in the state, and it's important that we push them to be ready for the games whenever we play.
Yeah. When you sit here and look, obviously I know a lot of you guys from middle school, because y'all played prominent roles on your middle school teams. Derek, you obviously, come over here. You had, your choice of high schools. You went to Williamson, but coming to Tug Valley, is it everything that you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I've always wanted to come to Tug Valley since I was little because my mom works here, and I always dreamed to play on Tug Valley's team and stuff like that. I always dreamed to also play on a state championship team, and I got to do that last year. And to do it again is just a good opportunity.
Okay. Go ahead, Bradley.
Just guys, I know you all come off the bench, but what can you do, to help out the starters, throughout the week and stuff to, make a run at the state championship?
I think we can just do whatever the coaches tell us to do. I mean, they usually tell us matchups that we'll have in the game, and then we'll play like them or something like that. He'll give us a number. We're going to be like them or something like that, and just play to a play style.
No, obviously when I look around, one thing that this team don't have a lot of size, and you're a pretty big youngin yourself. You got to think, if you continue to work on your game, that next year you could step in and fill one of these people's row, right?
Yeah, that's one big thing I'm hoping I can work this summer and this off season to grow to be able to play with them guys like that.
Yeah. What do you got to get better at to make sure you see the floor?
Honestly, my inside. I need to work on the inside a lot, and just mechanical things really.
Yeah.
Nothing much.
Now, Aiden, obviously you're one of the, from middle school, I got to cover you quite a bit, when you was younger, but, coming up, playing behind a guy like Braden Ferris, what do you try to do, and how do you try to learn from Braden to make sure that you grow your game?
I try to watch how he plays defense and just moves the ball and just attacks the rim. Really, and he's an excellent shooter as well.
We always talk about staying ready and stuff. You all have had your chances this year. Like I know, Aiden, you even had like a 20-point game earlier this year, didn't you? Talk to us a little bit just about you all staying ready for each game.
I think our practices just like carry over to the game. So pretty much what we do in practice, we work on what we're going to do in the game. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, when you take and look at you at U5 right here, if I was to say let's have a one-on-one tournament, which one's coming out on top? Out of U5. Oh, okay. So you think yourself. All right. When you go and you look at these coaching staff that you got legends on the sideline. You got guys that's been there. How much does it cause you guys to focus even more on what they're saying, knowing that they've led so many great teams to state title runs to where y'all want to be someday? Do y'all really try to soak in what the coaches are giving?
Yeah, because they have a lot of experience altogether, and they've been doing it for a long time. So they've been in certain situations. They can tell us what to do and all that. So yeah.
Okay. Now obviously y'all got a lot of pride too, right? So you five guys. If we line y'all up against starters, who's winning? There ain't none of them saying the shit.
It's only be the starters, but we'll try to keep it as close as we can.
There you go. So when you look at this coaching staff, what do you hope that they can help you guys with this summer to make sure that you guys are on the stage and get the experience that you need? When you take, is there anything specific that you guys want to focus on this summer to get better?
Mainly for me, I just want to practice on my on-ball pressure and stuff like that, taking care of the ball and not turning over and dribbling better, and probably shooting too. I could improve on shooting. But I dribble pretty good. It's just a matter of getting pressure and stuff like that, and just being able to handle the pressure.
Young man, you ain't talk much. What are you wanting to do to get better in your game?
I need to learn to control the ball better when I dribble and learn how to actually get my jump shot down to actually finish.
Okay. Now, y'all was going down to Charleston this week. Obviously with a business mindset, these boys done it last year. Y'all's trying to get yourself some jewelry. What are you looking forward to most about this week?
I think it's the experience, like just getting to be down there. It's going to be an honor just to be able to be in that place at the time.
Yep. It's a huge honor, and especially it's not just an honor. You're going down there wearing that silver and black, so everybody expects, in that Class A game, they expect you guys to be there. So that's the big thing. Y'all just got to soak it in and make sure y'all enjoy the moment, because you never know. You're not guaranteed that you'll be back here next year or ever again. So make sure you go put in the work and get it done, and gain all the experience you can. So next year, whenever y'all's starting to make a run, that y'all can try to play your part and play it well.
Thank you guys for joining us again. This Adam Fleming, Braxton Perry, Derek Jewell, Brennan Bishop, and Braxton Farley here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We'll be back with the coaches for the Tug Valley Panthers right after this on the D&D Sports Network. Tip-off show at Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. Chris Kidd with you. Bradley Damron and Darryl McCoy here with us. Now we talked to all the players. After hearing what all of them had to say, your rebuttal.
A bunch of great kids. They go in every day and do anything you ask of them. Oh, really, truly great bunch of kids.
And obviously, that's one of the biggest joys of coaching right there is getting to know all these people, getting to help bring them up, help spread your knowledge to the game of what they've been able to do. But, you all together as a coaching staff have to work really hard to be able to put them in the right positions to do so, knowing what their strengths are, knowing what their weaknesses are, preparing people individually, focusing on certain kids at certain times. Just talk about the work that goes into it, because it's easy to be a backseat driver and complain from the stands, but a lot of people oftentimes don't understand just how difficult the job is and what you're doing.
Well, Coach Thompson makes it easy, because if you're winning, nobody's complaining.
Right.
But as soon as you lose, everybody's complaining. and our fans are kind of spoiled, because a lot of people are happy to go to the regional championship. Our fans expect to go to Charleston every year.
Right.
And they don't just expect to go, they expect to play on Saturday. And Coach Thompson does great. I mean, he runs as good or better practice than anybody in the country. He's great. He's just a great guy. Can't say enough about him.
Ronnie, you've been involved and around this program for years. Just tell me what makes this group here so special.
It's just like family. Everyone around here is like family. But these boys here started, I think, second or third grade playing together. And some of them with their age and stuff are graduating this year, and the other bunch, well, they'll leave next year. But you've got a group of kids that have played together for probably 10 years now, 12 years. They've played everywhere from Myrtle Beach to Morgantown. And just our community and all. It's a basketball place. Our football team is coming along, doing great. Coach Ford's done a great job. But these boys, they're all like family. If you go to Cheech's, you see them, several of them together. If you go down to the gym, 2 or 3 of them's in early shooting ball. It's just a great bunch of kids.
Ronnie, you talk about seeing these kids mature together and how they've grown together as friends and teammates and stuff. And, you guys obviously have to do that year in and year out with whatever they're dealing with personally, whatever they're dealing with emotionally or at home or whatnot. So it's a 24-hour job no matter where it is. So it's not just season to season, it's all year round. So talk about how difficult that responsibility can be, but also how rewarding that responsibility can be, being able to nurture so many people in so many different ways.
We can start back years ago. I mean, where I live, Austin Brewer dated the little girl next door, which is now his wife, and he has 3 children, and they'll be Panthers. You grow up here, you don't want to be anything else, and that should be wherever you're from. These kids grow up here to be Tug Valley Panthers. And when they were little and they stood out there and reached for that piece of net, they wanted to be the one handing that net off someday. And they're great kids, and you can start back, like I said, Austin Brewer, and I heard the ball bounce behind my house several days. I worked third shift, and I hear that ball bounce, and Crystal said, "You want me to go make him quit?" No, let him play. Let him play. He's getting better. But it's just a tradition, Kermit, Lenore, they're always good, and and hopefully it stays that way, because them being good makes the Panthers good.
Yes.
And, you talk about that tradition a lot, and I agree. This is a tradition that very few places have, I feel. Just talk a little bit about, what it's like when you are going around here. I mean, when out in the public, I see people wearing more Tug Valley shirts and hats and all that than I do anything else.
I don't know what to say on that. It's just who they are. It's who our fans are. Thursday at 5:30, there'll be a sea of black up there, and they come from everywhere to support us. And it's not just at tournament time. Our bleachers are filled every home game, and the best fans in the country. And I don't know, not enough to say about our community, from people that support us when you find out you're going to Charleston. You don't have to call them, ask them for money. There's a lot of businesses and individuals will call and donate to help pay for rooms, help pay for food, and it's just great. It's a great place to live. And Tyler started it last year. There's nothing like Naugatuck.
Yep.
And the girls' team, let me say that before I forget. Seth Ooten, great job. Great job. Nobody saw them on the radar this year, and they went and played a fabulous tournament. Ran in, might have not had the best shooting game, but that bad shooting game had to do with a little bit of Gilmore County defense too. And it's hard to play against girls 6'4" when you're Autumn Hall and you're 5'8" maybe. I don't know how tall Autumn is, but she did a heck of a job. Not Autumn, I'm sorry. Bailey's going to whip me. I called her Autumn. But Bailey did a heck of a job. She battled and fought and did an outstanding job.
Still had 13 rebounds.
Yes, against 2 6'4" girls.
Yeah.
When you take a look at it, didn't just start basketball season. The football team didn't do too shabby either this year.
No, football team did great. Made it to the semifinals, and a lot of these guys here were part of that. And it's just great. I mean, from the time school started this year, it seems like all of our programs have really done great.
Yeah, going back to this summer, when you seen this group, obviously, the big talk last year was losing Buddy, and last year, I mean, I thought, there, especially first few games, he kind of carried y'all, especially, it seemed like nerves hit y'all early, and he carried y'all through them moments. And then, and then everybody got their footing, and they all stepped up and started, playing their own roles. At what point this year, or was it this summer, where you realize, like, okay, this team has a chance to go back and win a state title?
Probably like one of the boys said, I can't remember who said it, but after we played Tucker County, that was kind of a punch in the gut. And they came in and it's just like, as a team, they locked in. And when you've got Caden that can score at any given night, and if Caden's having a bad night, then you've got Carson or Braden or Ashton. And Coach said one night in the interview, we have so many people, sometimes somebody's got to fall on a grenade, Some guys some nights would leave a locker room, head down, I just had 6 points, but you know what? But then when they get outside and that 6 points meant a whole lot, plus that 10 rebounds you had, but someone else stepped up and had a 20-point night or a 15-point night. And there's no jealousy between these boys. They play as a team.
That's what's different, about these boys that I've noticed. Is I've been a part of a lot of programs and I've been around a lot of programs, but here it seems like whatever you guys and the coaching staff is doing, y'all's doing it right because y'all get these boys to buy in and pay the ultimate price.
I agree. They buy in and they all play together defensively. At times the defense is scary. They're so quick, and again they're not a bit selfish. I don't know a lot to say other than they're just like a bunch of brothers playing together. They may argue and fight at times. We don't see it, but they're great kids.
When you take and look, is this year. Y'all beefed the schedule up a lot this year. Was there any game that when y'all went in, like, that you was shocked with the outcome of it, or whether it was y'all won by more than you thought, or whether it's tighter than you thought, or?
I really worried about Logan because of Logan's size with Miller and Sherrod and Ashton and Ethan and Bryson did a great job. I mean. They're huge. Logan's huge, and they had to try to spread them out. But pretty sure that was the night that Caden caught fire. And you can't focus on one person when you got somebody hitting 20, 22 footers.
Yeah.
And it's hard to help off. Let me put it like that. It's hard to help off when you've got 5 players that at any given night can just put up numbers.
Just like these boys, and it's my last thing for you. Just like these boys are kind kind of a unit and a team and best friends. You know, you look at that coaching staff, you look at the bench that you sit with. I mean, you got Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. You know, just talk about you coaching staff, you know, the continuity that you guys got, and, you know, how what y'all's relationship helps bleed over to the team.
Well, you talk about Hall of Famers, you ain't talking about me and Tyler. Them other guys, Hall of Famers. Kurt Fletcher, man, I used to give him such a hard time. I was on that front row hollering at them Wolfpack people. But that wasn't because I didn't like him. It was out of respect. I mean, he put a good team out there, and we wanted to beat him. And Jerry Mounts, got to know Jerry. He's as good a guy as you ever meet.
Best numbers guys in the business.
Yes, sir. And Coach Ledger, I'm going to tell, he'll get mad at me here, but he taught me in school. That's how old he is. And my buddy Tyler, him and Coach are the brains. I mean, Tyler can remember any set. Coach can say, what was that set we ran at Morgantown? He can come off with a set and show you where everybody's supposed to be in the drop of a hat. And Coach Thompson, I mean, he's a legend. I mean, say what you want about him. If you don't like him, you don't know him. That's all I can say. He's as good a guy as they are out there.
Well, listen, I can tell you this. Every one of them, just like you said, every one of them has that important role. But don't sell yourself short, because when it comes to the heart of that coaching staff, I can tell you, them boys, they go through a brick wall for Ronnie. You know, and you get all of them to the side. You know, so what you're doing, you know, your role on this team is a lot more magnified than you ever dream it is, because every one of them sings your praises.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the time. Good luck next week. We'll step aside for another break and be back with more here from the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show on the D&D Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, West Virginia. Chris Kidd, Bradley Damron, and Darryl McCoy with you for the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We're now being joined by Tyler Hodge, one of the coaches for the Tug Valley Panthers. And, Coach, you've been doing a good job being our hype man here tonight as well, trying to get everything going for us.
Somebody's got to.
I was going to say, you're doing a fantastic job. And, you know, obviously you have a huge impact on a lot of these young men as well and everything else. Can you talk about how much fun you've had this season, how much fun the last couple of seasons have been, not just for the winning, but just because of all the characters you have on the team?
Well, anytime you win, it makes it a lot more fun.
Obviously.
So that's the key there. And we've not had very many times that we've not been on the winning side.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've made the state semifinals. I think we were counting at 10 or about 10 times. State championship, I've been on 3 of them. So I mean, out of 18 years, I mean, this is my 18th year here. So I mean, it's been pretty fun. So I love Tug Valley basketball. I love the community. I just think that. I said last year, ain't nothing like Naugatuck. And to me, there's not. Especially on a Tuesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Monday night, whatever it is. That gym's full over there. And they support our kids, and they're what make it fun. They make it fun. They make it what it is.
You know, Tyler, we talked a little bit about the beginning of the show, you know, championship mentality that's here, you know. And I say this and I believe it, and I know it's true. If Spring Mills called tomorrow and said, we want to play you at our place, and if you all could do it, you would be there.
We would do it. I've done the schedule for several years. When Mr. Kluski was the athletic director here for a while, he did a lot of it, and then I helped him. But for the last, even while he was his last years there as the athletic director, I was been the one that's kind of completed the schedule, done everything with it, and I'm the one that's actually done all that. So and it's not easy to get games. Especially, it's not easy to get teams come to Naugatuck. It's everybody wants you to come play them at their place, but none of them want to make that return trip. And there was a thing on Tailgate Central not too long ago about some of the best atmospheres in the state, and I don't remember exactly, but Tug Valley was in that. I mean, they're right on top of you. Coach Thompson says all the time, that's our fifth man, or our sixth man, and that's basically our fans are rowdy fans. I mean, like Ronnie said earlier, they are a team. I mean, they're a bunch of people. They expect you to win every year. They expect that. It's not hope or anything like that. It's expectations. They expect you to get to Charleston. They don't expect you to just get there. They want you to win it, and that's just how this community is. And I think that's what makes it great.
And I think what makes so many programs such as Tug Valley and a lot of the Southern West Virginia schools so, I guess, deified in some ways is just because of the fan bases. You know, like Harts High School back in the day, you know, had such a rapid fan base. You know, Birch had a great fan base, you know, and so you look at some of these smaller areas, there's a little bit of a chip on a shoulder too, because a lot of people feeling like, well, this shouldn't be happening here, or it's such a small town, how could they have so much success? There is a little bit of pride that comes with that whenever you are doing something in a program from an area where a lot of people don't think that should be possible. Can you tell me how much pride do you guys take in that? Because I know, just being around it personally myself with tennis, you know, it's a big part of our identity whenever we've been able to have success, and I figure that you guys probably have some of that as well.
We take pride in doing it with our own kids. We take pride in doing it with kids that grew up in Tug Valley. That's what makes this place special. These are Kermit kids, Lenore kids, and that's what they are. And that's why we take pride in that. And that's what makes it a special place. Coach Thompson said last year, tradition never transfers. and that's the case. I mean, these kids, like Ronnie said earlier, these kids grew up knowing they're going to play it at Tug Valley. They knew that. And that's what you go out here and ask any of them. When they were 5, 6, 7 years old, they knew they were going to grow up and wear a Tug Valley jersey, and that's how we are. I mean, and that's what we take pride in, is knowing these kids here, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've been playing for 4 or 5 years, and they know. You ask any of them on that team, they know they're going to wear a Tug Valley jersey, and that's what makes it special. That's what makes it who we are. If anybody can go out here and get these kids that's not there, that's what makes it a special place, because when it's within, that's what makes it a great place to be.
So, Tyson, you going to Tulsa, right? He says no. Now
black and silver here, but
now when you take and look, obviously, you know what y'all done, you know, this year, and you know it really hit home last year when you said, you know, no place like Naugatuck. And you know, and that's one thing I cover every area in Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia, and it's different here. You know, whatever y'all's doing, y'all got the right recipe, because you know the community is bought in. You know, when you go, I don't know, y'all are the only one of the only places that hasn't lost fans in the stands. You know, y'all still pack that place out every night.
That's
you know,
right.
And the reason people don't want to come here is because it is the hardest place to play, bar none, in the mountains. You know, I mean, you come here, you know, like they said, you better be, you're 10 points down coming into this place.
That's right.
And you know, but you know, being able to take and you be a part of this, you grew up wanting to be a part of it. Now you are a part of the unit, and then having one day to hand that off to your son, it's got to be special for you to be able to take and be a part of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for 18 years, basically, I've lived Tug Valley basketball. My wife gets on to me sometimes because she'll say, "So I believe you care more about basketball sometimes than what you do me." So, but that's not the case. But I do love the school. I love basketball. It's a passion.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Coach Thompson kind of brought that passion to me, because it is eat, sleep, basketball for him. That's all he does. Very first year he took this basketball job back in 2007. He was teaching at Tug Valley, and I remember one of the very first things he said. I might be this soft-spoken guy in the classroom, but this is my classroom. Yeah. This is where I teach, and that's what he does. I heard you guys earlier say something about him never getting upset or anything. You guys don't know. You guys have no clue. I mean, it's sometimes it's Katie bar the door. He'll come in and say we're going to have, and he'll put on the top of his practice sheet, this is a championship practice, and they know it's serious when it says that. It's back to the basics.
Well, one thing that I'll always take with me is, his, before they get on the bus, and that was one of the neatest things that I went through last year with you guys, and I was sitting there thinking when y'all cut the nets down, I was thinking about what Coach Thompson said, and them boys, he got them boys prepared.
He does. There was a couple of years ago, we were practicing we weren't really practicing, we were at the embassy. And one of our parents, the night before the state championship game against Bluefield, he took them to the lobby and he took them into a room and he talked to them. And one of the parents, I'll tell you who it was Jerry Newsom, Mikey Newsom's dad, said, I believe I could run through that wall. It was, and a lot of people think that it's all physical coaching and getting out there and doing all this stuff. Let me tell you, he's a mental coach. Yeah. He coaches mentally and physically, and he gets these kids. To me, best basketball coach in this state, best basketball coach in this area. I mean, West Virginia, Kentucky, anywhere you give, they can say what they want to do about anybody else, but he's our coach. Yeah. To me, he's the best basketball coach in this state.
His resume says it.
That's right. He sure does.
Well, did you have question, Bradley?
Tyler, I've known you for years. I think you are probably has been ingrained as much in this athletic culture as anyone that's here. What do you, year in, year out, you see the same type of things. What makes this place just so special to play at and play for?
Well, it's the fans. They play for each other, and if you ask them to do something, every kid here, no matter what it is, they do it. That's what makes it a special place. Go back for years. I stay, like Braden said earlier. I stay on Braden sometimes, but maybe I stay on him too much, and Ronnie will tell me, "Hey, let up on him a little bit." But I know how good he can be. And, I do all of them that way, but I'm probably a little bit tougher on Braden than I am any of them. But he's in these kids are in the gym every day, not just during basketball practice, but I bet he spent just as much time shooting after practice or during the summer and not just him, every kid out there, they really work at it. And that's what makes it a special place. I've been here for 18 years. These kids, and I'll go out and say this, there's been some really good teams come through Tug Valley. You go back to 99, 2012, even before 99, all those teams before that just wasn't fortunate enough to win a state championship. But you go back and you look at all those teams that come through here. I've been here since 2007, but I'll go out there were some good teams. This team may be the best shooting basketball team that we've ever had here at Tug Valley. And it ain't, there's a lot of people that can shoot the ball, but each kid on this basketball team can really shoot the basketball. And if you leave one of them open or one of them's having a bad game, it carries over. The other one's going to step up. But I really think the atmosphere here, the fan base, they make it a special place.
Yeah, you mentioned the shooting. There have been multiple times this year. I always get the game stats from Dr. Mounts over here after the game, where you as a team have shot over 60% from the floor. And and that's not just having like one good game. That's probably happened about 5 or 6 times this season.
Yes, and it's been, you go back, Caden Hill last year shot 54% from the three-point line for the season. That's unheard of in high school basketball. What is the average? 35% on an average? Yeah. He shot 54% for the season. That is, It's absolutely unreal. And you go back, I mean, just this year, I mean, everybody out there can score. It's a special group. And Coach Thompson says all the time, hey, savor this moment.
Yeah.
Not many of these times come around. It's been 12 years since we went back to back, but I mean, I knock on wood, I hope it happens again, but there's an opportunity here that I hope these kids realize what it is. And trust me, as a coaching staff, I mean, we say it all the time. Kurt used to say find your spot on the wall.
Yep.
Find your spot on the wall. And that's what they do. And it's really a good place to be. And I heard you say earlier about all these people that come in here. You can look over every game and you see the same people sitting there. And it goes back, and I'll say this, and then I'll let somebody else talk. But you go back to when Coach Thompson first come here. All right, some of these people are no longer here. You look down the sideline, and you had chairs set down the sideline. You had whenever Williamson consolidated, a lot of those people come here. You had Barry Harmon that sat right beside me in a chair. Earl Howard, they've passed. I mean, they sat there. Bill Watson came. Danielle came. All those people came. Now Kurt's with us, but you bring all those people. It's a special place, and those guys have came and made it even more special. That we've brought them in. Now they're family.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. We're all family, and our coaching staff is very, very close. And
you can tell.
And they really, but that's what I said. When you look over and you see all those people on the sideline, some of those people are not here. You got Audie, been here for 37 years, or he's kept books since the first year. Then he kept it at Kermit before that. You have those people, and you have those people that do special things for you that makes it even more special. And you take care of those people.
Yep.
And we're thankful to have those guys with us, and we're thankful to have all the people that keep coming back. And I'm excited about it. This is the best time of the year.
Yeah.
March Madness. And they can say it all about the March Madness in college or whatever, but high school basketball is the best time for me. This could be my vacation every year. I love it that much.
Oh, well, it definitely is, and when you take a look at this coaching staff, I mean, it's no surprise that the players are like they are when they see their coaching staff as close-knit as you guys are. And, I know we're Coach Thompson, we can't keep him out too late, so we'll get to him here in just a second. But Tyson, when you look back there and you look at all them players, which one when you're out in your backyard do you pretend to be one day?
Braden Ferris.
There you go. So you want to be Chef Braden Ferris, right? Well, I tell you what, I've watched you play a couple times this year, and I think you're going to reach his level, and I think maybe exceed it. You got a bright future. But it's got to, when you go in and you look at these boys winning, and you see that gym packed out, does it make you excited one day to know that you'll put on that uniform? Does it? You keep doing what you're doing, because one day I think you're going to be a Tug Valley great.
Let me say this. Took Coach Thompson 5 years to win a state championship back when he first came. He won 2 in a row. Last year made the 5th year. This is going to be a special time, so we're going to go back to back.
There you go. Coach Hodge, I definitely think you tonight want to remind everybody tomorrow. Make sure you go down if you want to celebrate with the basketball team before they take off. They're going to be eating at Three Guys. It's a ritual, They kind of keeping the same routine and hopefully the same outcomes.
That's right.
But I want to thank you for taking and putting the show together, having it again here. And again, Tyson's, right now the flood wiped out most of the businesses we had in this community. I appreciate you keeping the doors open and keeping people fed.
Appreciate it. Kurt's next.
All right. There we go. Kurt Fletcher coming up next.
From Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck, we're now being joined by Coach Kirk Fletcher.
No.
This is Dr. Jerry Mounts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dr.
Jerry Mounts. I'm sorry, I heard Kirk Fletcher coming up. Well, Jerry Mounts is going to be with us now here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. And Coach Mounts, again, we've talked with Coach Hodge and company about how great things have been working in this community, how great they've been being a part of this program. Can you talk about your own experiences working here with Tug Valley throughout the years and how special it's been for you as well?
Oh, it's just it's great. I think Tyler's got 1 year on me. I think I'm the one that people will say, who's that guy? I've been here. It's I think my 16th year, keeping the stats and being an assistant coach. I was an assistant coach in baseball for 4 years when my son played with Jeff Varney. When Brad got ill and couldn't do the stats for the football team after that, I was approached by Tony if I could do that. So I've done that, and we got Brad back with us, and Brad's doing his great thing now. Thank the Lord. And it's just been very fortunate. We got 5 guys on our staff besides myself. And we was talking about, Tyler mentioned about, little guys wanting to grow up and be like that guy. Well, I'm one of them. I'm from Williamson, from East Williamson, East End guy. But I grew up wanting to be like that guy. Kurt.
Yeah.
I'm the only one on the staff old enough that can remember when he played at Fort Williamson, 64, 65, one of the greatest team that ever came from Williamson High School. Championship in 64. I was in the 4th and 5th grade. Went and lost 1 game in the AAA championship in 65. Back then, the baseball championship was only 1 team. They did not have the baseball teams in classifications. Williamson won the baseball championship in 65. He did. I wanted to be like him. Then to compound it, when I was a freshman, he started his student teaching in basketball. So who was my coach, assistant coach, when I was a freshman in high school? Kurt was. So he's been...
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was one of those guys, and it happens.
Yeah.
And with our coaching staff, I've known Rabbit, Coach Thompson. He was a freshman when I was a senior. He went to Chatteroy. He was a classmate of my wife from grade school and graduated high school together. So I've known him forever, since 1970, 1973, And the thing of it is, everybody said, oh, yeah, he is the boss. He is the man. And I don't know, I'd be almost willing to bet the bank that we've got the only coach in West Virginia that has won the championship in Kentucky, Sweet 16, and the state championship in West Virginia.
I would say you're probably...
you guys are... Do you all know of anybody else that's a coach in West Virginia that can make that claim? I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I do not. Right off the top of my head, no, I don't. No.
Yeah, he
was
assistant coach with Jeff Jackson in Kentucky, and him and Jeff were classmates.
Yeah.
From Chatteroy right on through.
Yep.
But he won the Sweet 16, and he's won West Virginia. Does he know basketball? Take it to the bank.
Dang it, yeah.
Take it to the bank. And the good thing is that, there's 5 of us. 4 of us are in the Hall of Fame of some sort. Rabbit is from Williamson. Kurt's Williamson. I'm Williamson. Coach Dave Ledger is at Man. Okay. Moose, or Dave, he was a senior when I was a sophomore. We met each other on the football field. Somewhere along the line we met each other on the football field. He was a point guard for Man when I was sitting on the bench for Williamson. Then we got to know each other at Marshall.
Yeah.
So, and he's in Man.
And one day, hopefully, y'all all will be in the Hall of Fame together here.
Well, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, that's we are 6 people. I have in 16 years, I've never heard a crossword between any of our coaches.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, it's like, yeah, we're 6 brothers in a way, but brothers will argue and whatever.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
You know, we might have, and we all have a different perspective in coaching.
It's called respect.
You know, I mean, I'm the guy who will, Rabbit and Tyler will voice their opinion, and rightfully so. They're the head honchos. Ronnie and Kurt will do a little bit if they see something and get them going.
Yeah.
Moose a little bit, and I'm the one that's going to see something, and I'm going to pull you off to the side and talk to you one-on-one. I see you doing something, or if you got this, what is this guy giving you? If he's playing defense against you, he was set up here. What's he giving you? He's giving you something. Now, what's he giving you? You think about where his position was, where you're at, where your position is on the court. What can you do to take it and make it? Or he's doing this constantly on offense. What can you do to counteract that? So I'm pulling you off to the side and talking to you one-on-one.
Yeah.
So there's 6 peoples, there's 6 perspectives. We all do something a little different. And it's just an honor to be with these guys. And it's an honor to be with this team or any of the other teams. We've had some great kids, some great talent.
Yep, that's especially right, and you know that's the thing that I really enjoy about this coaching staff, and you know I know it's getting late for a lot of them, but I do want to take every one of you guys, just like these players have to start in their row, y'all start in your row, and you know you guys, people ask a lot of times, why is Tug Valley on D&D so much? Well, it's because we got the best numbers guys in the business that, make sure we got stats right after, and like you don't, and I know you never think of it, but you're a big reason why these boys are getting the notoriety they get, because you make it easy, and you star in your row. Everybody, when y'all walk in the building, people looks at that staff and they're like, that's the best numbers guy in the business right there.
It's like, again, going back to the days, I hate to say it, when I played for Williamson, it's like when we walked in, you could feel everybody's eyes are focused on you.
Yep.
They're here. That's these guys.
Yep.
They're here. Tug Valley's here.
Yeah, they are.
And we tell them, first practice off bat, hey, you got a target on your back.
Yep.
Everybody in this state knows Tug Valley Panthers on the basketball court. We're getting a notoriety with the football team now.
Yeah.
Baseball team is coming. The girls softball team is making a name for themselves. So but basketball, it don't matter if you're 4A or single A. You say Tug Valley Panthers, they know who we are. And when we walk in the gym, they're here.
Yep.
They're here.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
And that's you walk in and that's good.
Yep.
That's real good. It's the respect that you've earned.
It is, and Dr. Jerry Mounts, I could talk to you all day long because you are a historian amongst historians, and hopefully that we'll catch up with you later this week down in Charleston.
I'll say one other thing. People say Doc. I had a referee say, they say, who you are? Now Brad's known me for I don't know how many years, and I would like to think Brad says I'm not an egotistical person, so you can call me whatever you want. But in a formal official situation, people want to say Doc, that's fine. And so I had an official say, well, Doc, I heard you call Doc, are you Doctor of Love? I said, no, I kind of earned it the old-fashioned way. I said, it was worth that to just see his face.
Yeah.
I said, no, I earned my degree in 1979 in pharmacy and went at WVU. and went straight into dental school that following August and graduated dental school in 1983.
No.
So that's why they call me. Some people want to call, and they say, "Hey, you." That's fine too.
You'll always be Doc in my book.
Well,
So
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm here and I love it. To tell you the truth, my mom, when I was little, she said, "What do you like in school?" And I said, "Well, I like science." Yeah, and I did. And she said, "Well, I'll tell you. I know you like science and see your grades, and you might do something in science, or you'll do something in athletics, because you got balls for brains." I don't care. If it had a ball, I'd chase it all the way. And I am living a dream right now, guys, and I'm thoroughly enjoying being with these guys on the coaching staff and with these young men. I love it. God, I love it.
Well, with that, we'll take a commercial break, guys, and we will be right back with Coach Kurt Fletcher of the Tug Valley Panthers.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show at Tyson's Restaurant here in Naugatuck. Chris Kidd and Bradley Damron and Darryl McCoy here with you, now being joined by Coach Fletcher and Coach Dave Barksdale, Willie Akers. You three getting my blood pressure up watching on the sideline. I don't know how you get as animated as you do during ball games. I don't think I've ever been as furious as you are over some referees. Can you talk about how you still got the energy for that whenever I don't have the energy to go make me some bagel bites in the middle of the day?
Well, you talk about referees, you know, we always did try to hire the handicapped. And you got to realize, too, that I know of all the fans here tonight, there's probably been 1,000 left, but there's 2,000 or 3,000 still out there just to be here and stay with the Panther Nation as they have. And we really appreciate everybody that stayed. And for you people that didn't come, next time we'll have a little more room, maybe have it in a bigger building so that everybody can be here. And I will say, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, you guys are welcome. If you want to show up there, we're going to and do the show or whatever you want to do, or just come and eat with us. We're going to be at Three Guys Pizza at 6 o'clock tomorrow. 6 o'clock. Hold the applause, please. Thank you.
Yeah, Jared just messaged me and was telling me and listen, that's been y'all's pregame meal going down for a couple of years now, so better not break it.
Yeah, and it's always good to have supporters like Tyson's and Three Guys Pizza and all these other guys. I don't want to start naming names because that's exactly what got the Mississippi Squirrel in trouble.
Kurt, you had a great career there at Williamson. Won a
Some say.
Some say, yeah. I say.
Okay.
You won a state championship as a head coach in 2001, I believe. And I will say that when you first came here and joined the staff here, it looked a little different seeing you in a black sweater or something. But this community's embraced you, and just talk about what it's been like, to go from that tradition to help grow this one even more.
Well, one reason I got embraced, there's a lot of pretty women here.
Yeah.
That's another story. I've actually been coaching. I was trying to figure up, it's 52, 53, or 54 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, from midget league to junior high to high school, and finally I'm here at Tug. And wherever I've been, well, if it's at Chatteroy, it's orange and black, and Williamson, it's maroon and white, and down at Tug, it's black and silver. Wherever I may be, I'm 100% for that color. And there was no doubt when I got here that I'm sure there was some skepticism because, there's big rivalry between Tug and Williamson. And, I can remember when they used to hang over the bleachers at the field house, calling me all kinds of family names. However, we've overcome all of that, and I've blended well with them, and they've blended well with me, and we're kind of one big happy family now.
And tell me, what's one of the biggest driving forces? You said you've been doing this 52, 53 years now. I've done it for 16 years, and I feel like I'm burnt out just doing it in tennis. And, to do that 52, 53 years, your love for the sport, your love for what you're doing has to be there just nonstop. Tell me, how have you kept that passion for as long as you have?
Yeah. I tell you, just working toward and getting to go to the state tournament is, I don't know how many times, somebody said 23 times that I had either been in as a player or a coach or whatever. And doing this, going to the state tournament is like sex. You enjoy it just as much at the end as you did in the beginning.
I'll tell you what, that's the best analogy that I've heard all night.
Well, that just come upon me all of a sudden. I didn't mean to say that.
Can we keep him?
If I offended anybody out there, may the Lord be with you.
There you go. So when you talk, you was talking about this run that y'all went on this year. I personally think this is the best Tug Valley team, best prepared that I've seen a Tug Valley team in the D&D sports era to go down to Charleston. And I base that on y'all's resume that y'all went over and played in Kentucky, because I always compare, y'all's record over there to your record over here. And y'all went over and, y'all cleaned house over there this year, the 60th district, y'all wiped out. Y'all was the 60th district champs, and when you take this team here, what separates it from the teams in the past that you've coached at Tug Valley?
Yeah, I've been affiliated with all kinds of teams.
Yeah.
And if you stay in coaching long enough, it will humble you. Yeah. I've been at the top of the ladder, and I've been at the bottom of the ladder. And as time went on, I figured out it was better to be at the top of the ladder than it was at the bottom.
Yeah.
So that in itself tries to get you to probably work a little harder and things of that nature. But this year's team, if that's one you want me to talk about, is a little special. Along about maybe a third way through the season or somewhere, maybe up a halfway, as I watch them, our defense kept getting better and better and better, and I don't know if you remember Alexander Monday or not. It takes a thief. Now, we've got 3 or 4 guys out there on the floor that would give Alexander Monday a run for his money. Team-wise, passing-wise, defense-wise, and I've been on some state championships teams, coached them, runners-up, and all that good stuff. This is probably, overall, the best team, perhaps, that I've ever been affiliated with, and I've been affiliated with some good ones. And I want to talk a little bit about Braden Ferris. And I've coached all kinds of all-state players, big ones, short ones, in between. Overall, passing, shooting, defense, he's up there at the top of the list as the best players I ever coached. And what makes him so good is when he passes the ball and somebody receives it, they usually knock down a 3, so that even makes the pass look better. I think about halfway through the season, and some of the coaches probably remember me saying this because I was getting ready to practice, and Coach Thompson always says, "You got anything to say, Coach? You got anything?" Lets us all have input, and sometimes we expound a little bit, and sometimes we say, "Let's go Panthers." But I remember walking around the kids and pointing to each one of them because I had heard a little grumble about maybe somebody didn't score as many points as they should have, or something to that nature. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I said, "Look, here's the story, guys." And I walked around, and I won't mention the names, but I said, "You may be High Point man tonight. You may be High Point man tomorrow night." And I went around to 5 or 6 or 7 guys and says, what the story is every who we're playing has to pick their poison, because everybody we got here can score. Now, one night they may double up or squeeze Braden a little bit, and Caden will knock 4 or 5 threes down in a hurry. Or maybe it's down in the corner to Ashton or whoever's in there. And I think they kind of, after that, we bought into that just a little bit more than we had before. And that's really, at that time, nothing in my part because it's all Coach Thompson. At that point, it seemed like we got out of 4th gear and went in 5th gear, especially defensively. And it shows what the kids have done. And it's hats off to them, because, you ain't gonna win no horse races if you ain't got a good horse. And you ain't gonna make no ham sandwiches if you ain't got no ham. So we have win, lose, or draw. You never know what's gonna happen. These kids have really been fun to watch because of their unselfishness. Sometimes too much unselfishness.
Coach, I can keep you around all day because you're good for ratings. So one thing I want to ask you before we go to Coach Thompson is, last year when Bryce and Eli, turned the ball over there in them final seconds, have you ever seen a kid in an instant like that be able to come back, overcome that, and become a hero? Have you seen that in all your years of coaching?
Probably not, but if there was a kid that could do it, it would be him, because he anticipates the ball so well, and it was just a bad handoff he made to the ever who it was at that time, and then the kid from whoever was playing Tucker County, he got all excited and threw it to his partner. And Bryson just popped right in front of him with his quick hands, quick as a cat, and intercepted it and took off to the bucket like he was running a touchdown and put it in. And then I think we made a couple of foul shots after that, kind of sealed the deal. And lo and behold, we turned a mishap into victory.
Yeah, that's something I always tell kids these days. Most kids these days, whenever they make a mistake like that,
hang their head.
They hang their head and they let that decide the rest of the game. And I got that play on replay, and I always show them. I'm like, this is how you fight through adversity. One day or 1 second, you can be this guy. Second,
turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you made of?
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and these kids, not just Bryson, but all these kids are like that. And we tell them, when the game starts, number one, it's a long game. Things may not start like we want them to. Shots won't fall. Keep plugging. And eventually, if you're playing good defense, it just takes a lot of times one shot to get everybody pumped up. And seem like the next guy makes a shot, and then it's on. Then Then the defense picks up. You steal the ball, make a layup, and their coach has to call timeout and start reading his team the right act.
It is. And Coach Fletcher, You definitely won the award for interview of the night so far. Coach Thompson's got a ways to go.
He does. Yeah.
It's up here, but
and I appreciate that, guys, because Gunsmoke will be coming on in a few minutes, and I got to go.
Hey, let's go then. Coach Fletcher joining us here on the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show. We'll be back with head coach Garland Rabbit Thompson right after this, as you are listening to the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off right here on the D&D Sports Network. Everybody, for our final segment of the Tug Valley State Tournament Tip-Off Show here at Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck. Chris Kidd with you, Bradley Damron and Darryl McCoy here. We're now being joined by the legend himself, Rabbit Garland Thompson. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you.
And I know, Coach, you said you wanted to send out a couple of shout-outs again to some of our major sponsors helping us bring this tonight, Precision Heating and Cooling.
Yeah, Precision Heating and Cooling filled up my tank, my air conditioner tank. We'd gotten low. It started blowing out warm air. I'm sure most people filled it up with Freon. So I thank Precision Heating and Cooling. Quality Metal and Supply put my roof on, put a big old red roof on my house a couple years ago, stopped it from leaking. Tug Valley Health and Wellness, I've been there, and they've I got the
heart coach.
No, what is it everybody had here 2 or 3 years ago?
COVID.
Thank you.
COVID shot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Give me my COVID shot. I've had pizza rolls from
T&D
Quick Stop. I also want to give a quick shout out to Tyson's. My wife loves the gluten-free pizza here at Tyson's. So so I want to personally thank all those sponsors myself, because I know they're a big supporter of Tug Valley basketball.
Yeah, when he was sitting there telling me, and he's like, Ultimate Pond, T&D.
Me and my quality control coach, Pedro Ledger, last summer we bought an end table for his bedroom suite. He needed an end table, so we went to quality control.
Ultimate Pond.
Yeah, gut and pond. I'm sorry. My mind's going about 1,000 miles an hour right here.
Now,
but,
see, Coach, I was worried you were going to say, upon my first state championship ring.
Yeah.
Like, wait, Coach, you have something else you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Well, Coach, coming in here, again, looking to repeat, not just looking to repeat, looking to add to your total of state championships coming in. And, we've heard one after another tonight, whether it's player, coach, whatever, talking about how special this group is. And maybe this might be the best team that they've been a part of. You've been a part of so many great ones as your coaching staff. How do you feel about that, Lamar?
Very special group. I don't want to slight Mikey and Aaron and Mason and those guys. I don't want to slight Thomas Baisden and Corey Dillon and, again, Mikey Aaron and Austin. I don't want to slight those guys. Even last year's team, very special team. Buddy Markham, Bryson, Ashton, Caden, Braden, they're all special, So, this is a very special group, though. They have an opportunity here before them to do what few teams very seldom get to do, and that's go back-to-back. Now, it's easy to sit up here and say back-to-back, yes. But now you got to go up there Thursday. Now you got to win Thursday. Now you got to play, Friday, and that bullseye's getting a little bit bigger, and them goals getting a little bit tighter, and you might not get the call. You might play a bad game. Then you got to go win Saturday. So the opportunity is there, and that's thank you, Jesus. That's all we've ever asked for.
Absolutely.
Rabbit, we've talked a lot throughout the season how this team has progressed. Earlier Kurt mentioned, like the defense that kicking into fifth gear. I think that's what separated you all from a lot of teams is your defense. Just talk about how that's been carrying you all.
Yeah, yes, it has. Most of the drills that we do in practice. Now, on Saturday I let them shoot a little bit, but most of our drills through the course of a week are defensive drills. They're I make them get on the floor. You get tired of getting on the floor. 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days a week. I make closeouts. We do 3/4 high, 3/4 low. We do rebounding drills. We do 3-on-4 where we're just scrambling everywhere. Hopefully, all that feeds in to what we try to do. Now, anybody will tell you, offense, sells tickets. You've heard those slogans before, but defense wins championships. What was the score of the last game last year? 35-32. Yeah. And I told Tyler, I said, we ain't gonna win this game up in the 60s. We ain't gonna win the 50s. This thing's coming down, and it's going to come down this weekend too. The further we go in the tournament, the lower the score gets because most teams play good defense. I think our defense is excellent. We're very active. We're in passing lanes. We get down in stance. We contest shots. I love that we contest shots. They close out. They help. They talk. They switch. All those things, all those little basic fundamentals that wins championships. When me and Kurt was there in 2001, Mikey, Austin, and Aaron, and 2012, I'm Greg Davis, Timmy Sloan, legacy boy sitting back here, his daddy. All those things are constant on championship teams, and it's defense.
Yeah, and that's one of the things a lot of people kind of forget about whenever they go into some of these state tournament games or some of these, high pressure games, is that it's going to be that side of the ball that's going to decide things coming in. And you look at your all schedule coming up. Right out of the gate, you've got a Montcalm team that likes playing defense. Surprisingly, again, 37 points per game they're giving up. So you guys averaging over 70 points per game. Something's going to have to give.
Something's got to give. The immovable object against the irresistible force. I've watched a little bit of Montcalm. This is the first time that Montcalm has been to the state tournament since 1978. So I'm sure that, are they in Mercer County? Is that where? Mercer County. There won't be nobody in Mercer County. So if somebody's going to go knock off a bank in Mercer County, Thursday night would be the night to do it. But it's going to be a sea of blue over there on that side. You're going to see a sea of black, though, of Tug Valley Nation on the other side. But they're 17-6. You know, they're 17-6. They've got a kid 6'5". They got a kid 6'4". They've got two kids 6'3". Now, the thrill and the excitement of them going to the state tournament, sometimes that can carry you. So, you know, we have to be focused, laser sharp focus on our game. Hopefully, we'll go up there and, you know, make some shots. You know, get good, feeling good about ourselves, and get out of there and, you know, get a W and, you know, look forward to whoever's next.
Coach, you know, you mentioned about like they'll have a sea of blue and you'll have a sea of black.
Yes.
Just talk about that for a minute, because that's one thing you never have to worry about here is the community showing up for you all. Just talk about how special that is for you all to go everywhere.
Yeah, you know, we always have the biggest crowd. Everybody wants us to come to their tournaments, you know, because we bring a good crowd. You know, ever since I've been here, they have supported us financially, emotionally, you know, anything we need. Carson gets hurt here the other day, you know. We go up to the hospital and there's 50, 75 people in that, you know, hospital room, because they care, this community cares about its basketball. Last week when Seth took the girls up there to Charleston, won a state runner-up with those girls. Yeah, thank you. The seating was full, you know, and I expect it'll be full here Thursday night. And if we're fortunate enough to get by Thursday night, that crowd's going to grow a little bit more on Friday. Yeah. And you win Friday night, again, there, you know, last one out of Naugatuck, lock the door, shut the door, because it will be packed.
Yeah, that's one thing that makes it special, you know, and you know, as Tyler mentioned and some of the other staff, you know, the difference is, you know, here, y'all do it with boys, you know. I mean, I grew up in Belfry, you know. Yeah, you know, I mean, Russell Carter might as well be in Icky Woods to me, you know. And but you know, these boys grew up, you know, breathing it. I mean, and for them to be able to do it all together, this class, I mean, everything has come together for you guys to win back to back here. But you know, the pressure. You know, last year y'all went down playing with house money. This year there's pressure.
Yeah. Now now we're the hunted.
Yeah.
You know, now the bullseye's on our back. You know, yes, it is. These kids though have played in so many big games. You know, for years. You know, we try to play everybody. You know, I don't care. You know, I don't like to lose, but I'd much rather play a Logan, at Tucker, a Williamstown, a Charleston Catholic, a Huntington, whoever, than some teams and maybe beat them. Yeah. You know, I think the schedule prepares you. Any old head back here, you know, I got a whole coach's staff of old heads. They'll tell you the tougher that schedule is, the more it prepares you for Charleston, for those big games. And, you know, these lights going to get real bright right here. I say that all the time. You know, the lights going to get, they're a lot brighter in March than they are when we walk out there on November the 20th and we're getting ready for first day of practice. But I think these kids are ready. You know, we've got a senior-dominated team with Ashton, you know, and Caden, who's been there. I know that Ethan is going to play very well. He's going to give us, you know, good minutes. So I don't worry so much about the seniors. Now, you know, the juniors, I know Braden. You know, Braden is, you know, to me, he's the best guard in the state, regardless of class. Don't really worry much about Braden, but you know, now the further back you go, you know, I don't know how much, you know, Jeremiah has been to the state tournament. He's probably going to be a little bit nervous. I'm sure they're all going to be a little bit nervous. Cam might be a little bit nervous, you know, but most of these kids back here have been in the state tournament, so I'm hoping they're ready for it. You know, I'm hoping, you know, we'll go up there, we'll play good, and, you know, if it be the Lord's will, you know, I know it's my will. I just hope it's His will that we win.
Well, Coach, I talked about it with a couple of the coaches and players. I mean, I looking at y'all's schedule, covering y'all this year, it seemed like y'all really spiked up the schedule, and y'all played a lot tougher competition this year. And I think them going in knowing like, okay, we're 6-0 against state tournament teams. Definitely has them prepared. Especially I mean, if you can do it in AA, AAA, then you can go across state lines and do it. And when you come back to single A, you should be able to take care of business. But what I want to ask you is, how much going back to the Zip Zone Classic?
Yes.
When y'all went toe to toe with Martin County, without a couple of your pieces.
Yes.
How much do you think that game right there had to do with the season y'all's had?
A great game. First of all, I got to give Tyler the credit because he schedules.
Yeah.
I don't care who he schedules. It's hard to get teams to come to Tug Valley. I know that. Like I said, everybody wants us to go there and bring our crowd, but ain't too many people want to come in Tug Valley and play. But when you talk about the Zip Zone Classic, that was a tournament atmosphere. And I don't think we had our football players back yet. I'm pretty sure.
No, you did.
And that thing was close into the fourth quarter. Now, our depth kind of got a little, thin right there a little bit. I think I played Aiden Fleming in that Zip Zone Classic a little bit. Had to play him a little bit. And he did a good job, but again, good schedule. We played Pike County Central. Another 15th region team up there at Williamson. Jaden Stewart is as good as anybody in West Virginia. We played Phelps, who won their district championship. They knocked us off. That kid hit that ball up. He hit that ball up and it went in. Belfry. Now, Belfry, we
don't need to talk about that.
But, all those teams, that is a little bit of a rivalry for us. But, when you go over in Kentucky, you better be ready to play a physical brand of basketball, because they let you play. But I think, all those games prepare us. The Williamstowns, the Catholics, the Tucker counties, they all prepare you for where we're trying to get to.
Well, last year, Pike Central and Martin County
thumped us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both teams beat y'all quite handily, and then y'all come back and return the favor this year. That's got to be. It's got to be. These boys going in. I mean, they have to be on cloud 9.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I know they're amped up. I don't have to give some kind of big fiery speech. Ashton's heard all my speeches anyway, so I think they're ready for this. I know I'm ready. They're going to be a little nervous. I get nervous every game a little bit. They should be a little bit nervous. If you ain't nervous, it ain't pumping that good, rich Tug Valley blood that should be going through your heart. But I think we'll be ready. The only thing I worry about, sometimes you go up there to Charleston, the depth perception is a little bit different. Sometimes you don't shoot it as good. I worry about that a little bit. But I got Caden Hell sitting right over there somewhere, and he's lights out, dead on. Ethan shoots it good. Ashton shoots it good. Carson Newsom, he strokes it with any of them. Hopefully, that's enough to, shooting. But we all know the key. You win with seniors. You win with guard play, and you win with defense. That's what gets it done.
And I would like to look at that roster and say you're stacked with all of them because, listen, Bryson and Carson, them two, I would take on the all-defense team any day.
I would too. Carson is probably our best on-ball defender. Now, Bryson is probably our best defender, and he always gets whoever the other all-state guard is on. He gets the hard job. Bryson does. Carson is very good on the ball. Now, Caden and Ashton always gets the big, so he's outside 6'5" to 6'1", whatever he is. Braden is very good. He's got very quick hands, but he reads. Him and Caden read very well. You know, they're able to anticipate the next play, and they get a lot of steals that way. I think we're pretty good defensively.
Yeah, and then when you look at Ashton, I mean, the sacrifice that he's made, you know, he's a kid that, you know, if he would have focused on being a true three, you know, I mean, who knows what, you know, would have come his way, but, you know, he's done what he has to do.
You know, I have to take the blame for that because, you know, Ashton, your role changed, you know, and he's accepted it, never said the first word. Probably, you know, he's had to sacrifice some offense this year. I understand that, but, you know, who else is going to guard Jaden Stewart? Who else is going to guard Will Fong? Who else is going to guard Namir Bryan? Who else is going to guard, you know, him and Ethan, you know?
Well, you know, it's and you know, a lot of people last year, you know, they said when you lost Buddy, they was like, man, that's gonna be hard shoes to fill. But Ethan Farrell comes in,
yes, he does,
and you know, Ethan Farrell's a kid that, you know, not only can he play down low, you know, he can step out and stretch that defense out.
Yes, he can. You know, I worry about, you know, I heard Tyler say, you know, we went with our own kids, and now to me, Ethan is our own kid because he was here before, you know, and he went and played for his cousin. That's okay. But
he's Tug Valley kid.
He's Tug Valley kid, and you know, he's come in, he's accepted his role. Again, never said a word, you know, and he's helped us tremendously with his shooting. And let me tell you, he's a good passer too. You know, I've seen him drop this ball off a couple of times that he's probably had a layup or two. He's dropped it off, you know, to maybe Caden or Ashton. He's made some very good passes. You know, it's just been a blessing. You know, I love to have. I love having him on the floor, and he's going to make a good play. He's going to make a big play. He's going to get a big rebound somewhere this weekend that's going to help us win.
That's it, and I tell you one thing that, you know, folks at home, you know, you guys didn't get to see it, but, you know, Coach Thompson said before the interview, he said, listen, he said, I want to do this interview with my guys behind me, and that's why you see the entire staff and coaching. That's what makes it special here is it's a family. It's not a basketball team.
Yeah. You know, I think the product is bigger than – you know,
the sum
of all our small parts that we have together. The product, it's always been, you know, more important. You know, let me tell you, I've got great kids. I've been very blessed, very successful. You know, but let me tell you, you know, like I said, Austin Vance, God, I don't have time to mention my Mason Pack. You know, Buddy Markham. You know, Joby Sorrell, Ian Reed, Caleb May, my sweet Jesus. And I know I forgot about 100 of them more.
Jonathan
Blankenship, Easton Davis. You know, those are good kids. They come from good families.
Tyler Ray.
Yes, you know, Carson Newsom. Who's your cousin, Carson? Mikey. You know, so you know, good parents. Good kids, good players, make good coaches.
Yeah. Absolutely do, Coach Thompson, and we can't thank you enough for your time tonight, the insight into your team. You know, we look forward to being there with you in Charleston this week. Good luck. Bring home another one.
Thank you.
Tug Valley Panthers here tonight from Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck. Again, we want to thank some of our major sponsors tonight: Precision Heating and Cooling, Quality Metal Roofing, the Tug Valley Wellness Clinic, Ultimate Pawn of Kermit, and the T&D Quick Stop. So again, we want to thank everyone here at Tyson's Restaurant in Naugatuck. Again, appreciate all your hospitality here tonight. I want to thank Bradley Damron next to me, helping get me through this evening as well, for Darryl McCoy, One of the best in the business sitting here, being able to set us up all night. I'm Chris Kidd saying so long this evening from Naugatuck, West Virginia. Good luck, Tug Valley Panthers. Good luck in Charleston as you've been watching here on the D&D Sports Network.
Want to remind everybody, get down to Three Guys Pizza and Brew at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Celebrate with the Tug Valley Panthers as they head off to Charleston. Guys, we'll see you next time.
Watch out. Good shot.
Lord, he won't have to buy a beer the rest of his life, you know?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I just walked. Yeah. I had to get let around by the nose for a little bit. Yeah, just throw me into it. I'll figure out this one.
Y'all be careful.
That chair was getting, we can't really do a lot of photos real well because of our limitation right now. But I was thinking, what if we put the story on Facebook and instead of the picture, have like a video of it?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I hate not to do the website.
Yeah, that. My thought was to do that.
We'll still should or hope on the content.
Well, no, I'll do it on the website. I'll try to get it.
The big thing, I get. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, good to bring it up.
which makes no sense
That's
because
what that's what I told him. I said, so what's the difference between the SAZ coming with shoot highlights and us shoot highlights? It's our video, it's our rules. You play home, or we'll have a lawyer.
And you will, I will tell you this, Mitchell Reed brings that meeting. They may know our kids.
Yeah, they took and it took to they basically said all said they paid a lot of money with the rights from the highlights. Basically, which what it was is we took and I done the highlights and I posted them and like 200 shares in a matter of 30 minutes and they got upset.
Our search route out.
Yeah.
Well, when you're there, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're a bit, I mean, like, they can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
There's photographer there every morning. Really good photographer, great at his job. He is always in the way.
What's his name?
Aaron Martin. Little chubby guy with glasses and facial hair and kind of short.
He's from Metro.
Yeah, and you'll always see him. You know how like Metro Men's always has those close-up pictures and stuff after the game?
Yeah.
He's always the guy that comes out on the floor and you'll see him. He won't even, if he has one of the cameras, they can just hold it down and take like 50 pictures in a second. I mean, just stuff like machine gun.
Yeah.
And he's over there. You just see him waving that camera around. He'll just like, you have a shot, he'll fly out in front and just.
Yeah.
Oh, people hate him. I mean, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
Some people hate him.
Yeah.
He can get hate.
Well, I know if I'll try. I ain't gonna swear on all of them, but continue doing what you do. But I'll try to take and get a couple pictures, send them over to you. I know like a little newer iPhone might take a little better, not still it's.
I mean, I found a setting on my phone where I can get sun at certain distances that are just, they're not great, but they're manageable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's the big thing with phones like that. Yeah, my other ones is like that too. You can't really zoom in. You gotta get wide shots. And for it to work.
They gotta come over towards you.
Yeah. And so normally what I try to do is I try to get like shots.
Which is kind of hard to do at times. Well, you do the video walking.
No, I mean, I'm talking about, or them like walking out on the floor, like a few of them together, maybe huddle on the court together, or something for a foul shot, or something like that.
I got a few from the girls last week that were okay. I got a decent one that Bruce Atkins that hard to do. It harder in action pretty well.
Did it? I know. Yeah, that's one thing I'm really hoping that we improve on.
Well, I asked Ashley last night what kind of budget was for that. One of them I told him. I'm like, if he said top line, I was like, well, if you really want top line, it's gonna be probably more than you're thinking. But he's giving me $1,000 budget to find something, and I'm checking with my buddy. He may be top. Well, and that's the thing too. Like I like Nikon cannons, but the cannons are not much lower than a Nikon at all, and you can get more bang for your buck winning, if that makes sense. So I've been looking at some of the cans. I think I'm thinking the can T7. Can T7 with a couple of minutes. It's fine.
Yeah. Huh?